Good morning. Hello, everybody. How you doing? I need to rekajigger things here because my desk doesn't make any sense. Looking up at the camera means that I can't look at chat. Melkador, how you doing? How you been, buddy? Because I'm finding myself like, it kind of hurts my neck and it looks weird, and I can't properly light myself. That's even worse, though. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. How's everybody doing? How's your Sundays going? Nate, how you doing, bud? How's your Sunday going? Hopefully well. Melkondor, I am doing great. After Wednesday, doing a count on how many models I had left, I realized that I wasn't going to make my challenge unless if I really pushed myself. And one of my core tenets of this this stream and this project was that if it was no longer fun to do at the level I'm doing it, I wasn't going to do it like that anymore. So I decided to take a break. and I played the new Mario 3D world the other night for fun. And then I did it the next night because I had a lot of fun. And I was like, you know what? If I'm not going to do it, and I'm kind of in a state of burnout, it's time to change my relationship with this. And I'm really glad I did because I had a really good time. And it set me up. Sitting down to paint a dragon. Excellent. Excellent. Trying to clean up here because for the last, X amount of days, I've just been gluing things to minis. Today I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to get into the oil wash phase and turn up some stuff. So, oh, that thing about pulled out. So we'll be messing around here for a little bit. Pretty soon we'll be hearing from the Sauce. Sauce is gonna hang out with us. We're gonna sit and talk with the Sauce, and paint with the Sauce, and just talk all things cool, grimdark, and the angle of content creation and doing weird projects like this. So it's gonna be pretty good. What's up, Jared? How you doing today, man? Long time no see. Glad you're here. I'm doing very well. Yesterday, get this, buddy rented out a entire movie theater. It was $107 after tax, and we watched Get Out on the big screen. We still wore masks in there, and it felt weird being in a public space doing things like that, but we were all spread out, and it was great. It was absolutely great. Uh-oh, injury. You okay? Yeah, speedy recovery. What happened? I would love to say it came from being a badass rocking out bass injury. That's the only type of injuries I want to hear. No pain when you're lying down, so it's all good. Okay, well, keep them legs up, buddy. Keep them legs up. Let's see here. Let's go to this camera. All of my settings were all fucked up today, so if there's anything weird, if you guys are experiencing any oddity with the stream, please let me know. Because, I was logged out of all my shit, all my stream keys were missing. So if any platform's not having a good time, please let me know. It looks like everything I've seen seems to be going. check on something real fast. Oh, ads. So many ads. So many ads. The Painted Moose, what's going on, man? How you doing? Solvent. Okay. So today we'll be using my sweet ambrosia, Mr. Hobby's Weathering, and yeah, solvent and multi-black. It's the best. It's absolutely the best. Sauce is just looking at memes right now. His stream blows my mind. I'm so happy that there's someone like in here. Ah, one of your Gen Con. There you go. Oh, the Knight from Conquest is too tall. Yeah, those Conquest models, them's crazy. They're big. Okay, I think it's happening. I think it's happening. I think everybody's moving. Bow, bow, bow. 80, yeah. Right. So, okay. For, like, what, $8 a month, you get no ads at all on YouTube. It's one of the best values you can spend. Like, I watch more YouTube than I watch literally anything else. And it's not just mini content. It's movies, it's music, it's literally everything. So, yeah, it's all about paying for the YouTube. It hurts, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. See, that's the thing. If you watch an ad, or if you watch a streamer, yeah, 5 people for $18 is fucking fantastic. Richard, what's going on? If you... Ah, there it is. There's Mr. Sauce. Signarly, what's going on? If you are using YouTube Premium and you watch a streamer where there should be an ad, they get paid for where the ad should be. So it's like the best way to go. What's going on, people? What's going on? Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are having a spadoinkle day. Sir Jacob, how you been? Idiot Painter, good to see ya. In Venom, look at all these. We love the doinks. We love the doinks. Somehow we'll figure out how to get a we'll get a thing going here. Do one of these. Just have a video call started. Fox Art, how you doing? It sounds good. It sounds good, Sauce. Greetings, everybody. I hope you've all been paying attention to my Turnip 28 challenge, where we are fucking up models left and right. We're getting weird with it. We're breaking the conventions of how you make an evil, scary-looking army. New Meta, what's going on, buddy? Did I complete the challenge? Did I complete the challenge? I will say it like this. I completed the challenge in my heart. Excellent, Prince Knucklehead. Thank you so much. One nation, indivisible, with liberty and doinks for all. 100%. With liberty and doinks for all. Orky, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing okay today. god. Oh my god. Thank you all for joining me. Yeah, these models are from Conquest. This is my Spires army. They are all... I have made things growing out of them. And I'm getting ready to do my oil wash today. So you guys are going to get my sweet ambrosia. Did anyone finish this challenge? So no, here's the thing. Challenging yourself isn't about the finish line. It's about the journey. Get that in your Karate Kid repertoire. Yeah, see, Nate, I'm in the same boat. Like, here's the thing. Like, this is the closest I've ever had to a full-on painted army, and I am like thrilled that I made it as far as I have. Because like, I could take this right now and set it down, and it would look badass. Yeah, Orky, did you get yourself one of those evolution cult of paint brushes? Those are very nice. Very nice. So 100 Kingdoms is cool. I think that like 100 Kingdoms, and man, 100 Kingdoms have got some shit that'll fuck you up. But I will say this, it is they've got this new one, the City States, coming out that has a giant minotaur that has got me like very you have no idea how to connect it to your compressor. Oh no. The City States look good. Right now they got the Wadrun getting ready to come out, and they're orcs on dinosaurs, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, it's interesting to see what the future of that game is going to be. I'm quite excited. Sergeant Major Clutch, how you doing today? What's going on, everybody? Yeah, Orky, I've ran into that. So you have like 3 different attachments, and they're all different sizes. Like Badger has a different one than the Pash ones are. Than the I think Passion Masters are the same. But yeah, like half the stuff that you have is wrong. 21 today. Dude, you got this. If you're at 21 today, you got this. Especially if you get that airbrush set up, Nate, you got this. Yeah, I have had multiple problems with my air compressors and hoses not working the way I wanted them to. Where's my big paintbrush I've been using? Any of you guys have a desk so messy you lose your paintbrushes on it, and you're like, well, that's gone now. Oh wait, here it is. I found it. Finally cleaned my airbrush last night. How was that, Damat? Was it just fucking disgusting? Maybe. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Murder Basement. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a great Sunday. Uh-oh. Did I hear a voice?
What up?
Aw, snap. Where you at?
Where you at? Hold on, I'm loading in. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Why am I...
Hold on, I'm refreshing.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, boy.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think so. Here, hold on. Let me turn off the music. Because we got drone.
Same. I still have my stream music playing in my headphones. I don't know what's happening right now. What day is it?
Dude. All right, speak.
Yo.
Yo.
What is up?
All right.
Yo.
There we are.
The
there
party
it is.
people.
All right, let me see if I can get this. Let's get us both on the screen. Let's see if we can make this work. Screen window capture. Let's see here. Let's go to the properties.
Pro streaming.
Dude, literally all of my shit got reset today. Like like
Yeah,
all my stream keys were gone. Everything was gone.
Dude, I hate that shit.
Oh, it made me so mad. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Okay, okay, here you are. You got that. Let's get weird with it.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, dude.
All right.
There we go.
There it is. There it is.
Is that Eminem? It is.
It is Eminem.
In a weird twist of events, yes, it is.
Eminem is a huge fan of miniatures. Let's see if I can crop this a little different.
Yeah, he secretly is a painter. Secretly pro painter.
Can we crop? Can we crop this? Is there a good way to crop this? I never know. I never know. Dude, you're being a brave motherfucker and streaming all day long on days that you don't normally stream. Like, are you okay? Do we need to call for help? Like, what's going on, buddy?
My wife is out of town. She just literally got back. Like literally between my stream and your stream, my wife just got back from a vacation, so I went to go give her a hug and a kiss because I'm a big S word for my wife.
Aww.
Huge S word for her.
Aww.
And so yeah, it's just been me and the doggo for like all weekend.
Oh, dude.
And so yesterday I was like losing my mind, dude. I was just like really anxious. So like I was gonna stream yesterday, and then I was like, I can't. Like I'm not in a good mental space right now.
Sure.
So I just kind of chilled and played Warzone. And so then this morning I was like, I got shit to do. So I like woke up and cranked out. I grime timed 19 minis, and we'll finish them probably while we chat.
Nice.
For 1,000 Suns commission I'm working on right now.
Hell yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm good.
Good, man. I'm glad to hear that. I think that this is about the most even my screen is going to be with all of us and the things going on. It's a little bit of a mess, but you know what? It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes.
AKA hungover sauce. Well, yeah, I was a little hungover yesterday. I got lit Friday night.
Oh,
Not during my stream. I did take a couple of shots during my stream because I was painting faces. And this is turning into like a reoccurring like channel meme where whenever I'm painting faces, I just am like, I want to paint this on hard mode. And so then I'll just take a shot.
Dude,
so I had a couple shots on Friday.
And
but I wasn't hungover from that. I was hungover from the shots I had afterwards with my buddies.
When you were still feeling good and you're like, this night is just going to keep on going.
Yep, pretty much. That's how that went. Oh, man. Dude. How the hell are you, bro? I've had such a busy week. I haven't been able to like keep up with any of your content or like know how your challenge was going. How is your Ink28 challenge, Heath?
Well, Wednesday night I did like a rough calculation on how many models I have left to turn up, and right now it's probably close to like 60 models to get shit glued onto them, and I was like, I'm never gonna make it. Like
yeah.
Even if I push myself to get to this point, I will then still have another, probably 20 hours worth of work to do. And instead of like, this is where I wanted to have a real mental health talk about the way that we treat the hobby and the way that we treat ourselves with the hobby. It's like, yeah, I set up a stupid fucking goal that is only responsible to me. But I decided that my happiness and my mental health was better than getting stuff done. So I allowed myself the room to enjoy the process that I had, to take a break.
Oh.
And I played some Mario 3D World. Like I don't know if you've got that game.
Wholesome.
I love it. I love myself
Wholesome.
some Mario.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep. So how would you, if you had to sum up your Ink28 project in one word, would you say it's a success?
I would absolutely say it's a success. Finishing.
Really?
Finishing is not the thing. Veb, thank you so much for the follow. There's a bunch of people who follow me that I like: Whiskey Warrior, Fox Art, Mild Boys, Mappo Mini Painting, and Venom. There's a bunch of way to go, Fig Nuts. Hey, Fig Nuts. As long as the baby doesn't touch my mustache. Yeah, dude, it's total success. Like the fucking finish line isn't the fucking win. It's the journey, the learning, the process, the understanding that what I did was something cool and special and different. And I think that we all need to learn to be much nicer to ourselves when it comes to shit like this.
Yeah.
Because you know, if we're not good to ourselves, nobody else is gonna be.
Dude, this is like, were you watching my stream earlier?
No, man. Wife and I were having a pretty heavy conversation, and I was just like, okay, I actually have to get ready. I would love to keep on going with this, on or off. Too bad.
We were just talking about this in a degree to in my channel. Also, we were talking about like I'm working on this commission. I thought I missed the color. Like the color's not exactly spot on a couple of the miniatures, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to text the client. This whole thing's fucked up. I'm gonna have to start over. And it's on like 20 miniatures, and I was like, shit, I think I figured this out too late. Chat was like, no, what are you talking about? This looks fine. Like you can barely tell the difference between those. Like your colors are pretty spot on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm just really hard on myself. Like it's hard for me to like be like, oh yeah, I buggered it up, but I guess it's okay. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And
sure.
so like it was unique, but chat was like, no, it's good. Stop thinking like this. What's wrong with you? Like, stop it. It's fine. I'm like, okay, I'll keep working. Like I'll keep pushing forward. And it ended up being fine. Totally fine. Actually, they were right.
Yeah. Well,
Chat's
I mean,
always right, dude.
Chat is always right. And like, you know, and not in like the traditional, like the customer's always right sort of thing. Chat has a really great way of understanding like our workflow and who we are as humans.
Yeah.
And so like they know that we're doing our best on this shit. They know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So success for your Ink 28. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, like if I only would have glued some shit on like a few models and realized it was cool, I still would have called it as success. But the fact that I'm like way over halfway done, success for sure. And now I've got out my sweet ambrosia. We've got the multi-black Mr. Weathering, Mr. Hobbies.
Yeah.
And that's for anybody who hasn't done the oil washes or enamel washes. If you're playing Ink 28 and you haven't done it, brother, you just ain't lived.
Yep.
Right?
Bingo. Yep. Dude, I'm telling, we like just have both of these chats today. Like this is crazy. We talked about this on my stream for a while. We're like oil washes versus enamel washes. Someone was like, have you ever tried oil washes? I use oil washes how you use enamel washes. And I was like, I have. And then I went into my weird, like, I hate to put things into buckets, but I think it could be summed up this simple. There's obviously exceptions to it, but I'm on the train where I think oil washes are generally speaking better for like a clean heavy metal style, and I think enamels are generally speaking better for grim dark, but there's obviously exceptions, and you're an exception with this project right now because you're using oils.
You're using oils because
I think the oil cleanup process leaves it very clean. Like an oil clean is very clean. It leaves really just recesses unless you want to leave more. But I would say that was my experience in using oils, is that I felt like it left the model more clean than with my streaking grime.
It very well could be. I have not used streaking grime. I'm as soon as I'm done with my AK products, I'm done with AK.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
amen.
Just got to be done with them. I'm gonna try some MIG stuff out. I hear that their Lucky varnish is very nice, and you know what?
Yeah,
I'm a Monumental. I'm ride or die Monument Hobbies. Like the conversation is that we will be seeing some really good varnishes and stuff from them soon, so I won't have to worry about it at all.
Yeah,
and so I'm very excited for that.
I bounced. I don't want to talk about it because I don't know how much this is out yet. But I bounced a product idea off of Fuse that would be such a game changer, and he was yeah, we're already working on that. Yeah, here, I'll message it to you right now because I don't know how much of this he wants to know that it's out.
Sure,
I'll message it to you on Discord.
Okay. I don't think anybody can read our Discord. But yeah, I anytime I have an idea for him, I message him. And they've got some things in the works that I'm really excited for. Okay.
Yeah, I hit him up and I was like, dude, have you ever thought about making a product like this? Because I know for me, that would basically completely isolate my that would completely isolate the, what's it called? It would like isolate like Pro Acrylic to be really my own. Yeah, exactly. At that point, it's like, okay, that's it.
Dude, I'm into it. I love their stuff so much. This is like, so this is the oil. Let's see. Focus, motherfucker. There we go. Come on. It's shiny, so it's having troubles here.
Yeah. But so you're liking the oil life?
Yeah, dude. And it's mainly because, so like the Mr. Hobby stuff is like almost all of the oil has been removed from it, so you don't have to like worry about it. Like you can start painting like 20 minutes after you put this on. You know, once the solvent has evaporated, you're like basically good to go. Whatever you want to do. And I like the way it works. You know, if I was mixing it from scratch, I think I would have a different sort of response with it. But it filters everything really nicely. It makes everything sufficiently grimy, and and I think I'll probably hit it with a nice little dry brush. Dude, you want to know my new favorite dry brush color?
What?
Bright warm gray from Procryl.
Ooh, that is such a good palette. Dude, I did so much work with that over the summer on my Soul Haunters. That dark, because I've used almost all their grays are so good for basing.
Grays are great.
You want to know my new favorite Procryl for dry brushing?
Huh.
Olive Flesh.
Olive Flesh is I can see that
good.
for sure.
Dude, I use so good.
I use a lot of Olive Flesh. It's as my whites, just because like you can add. So like these are the top is all the like top coat of this is Olive Flesh. Just because I think that it's way more versatile than just like kind of a cool pigmented skin tone.
Nice, dude. Nice, crushing the Ink 20. So how many models are you like done on like 100 models, or like what do you all have cooking right now?
Oh, I still have to do the ink the oil wash on just about everything. I have to paint the rims. You know, like I said, I probably got another like 20 hours of work, and I'm all right with that. I'm okay with that. I feel like I've given it my best. I've given it my all, and I'm just going to enjoy the process here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep.
Random place I forgot.
That speaks to how much you've been painting it, that you could just look at the pile of what's left and just know how many hours you have. You're like, yeah, it's 20 hours left.
Yeah. Well,
like you've clearly been cranking this all month.
Yeah, and you know as well as I do, when it comes to like commission miniature painting, if you don't have a good understanding of what you are doing, then like you aren't going to make any money on it. you have to know
I
these
agree.
things.
And even a step further than that, if you don't understand how to hack your time and make up, like if you fuck up, if you don't understand the corner to cut appropriately to get yourself back on track, or figure out if there's like, something that you could cut out of your plan scheme to still get you to a good product.
Yeah.
If you don't understand how to catch yourself back up when you're behind, then you're really in trouble. If you can't estimate your time and you don't know hacks, you're a bad place.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And like when every model becomes like, oh, I'm going to paint this up like it's a character model, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You might as well just give up. And I've watched people do that, and I'm like, no, sorry, that's not how this world works. You can't do that to yourself. Yep. I mean, you can. You will hate it. You will absolutely hate it.
It's serious work to paint that much.
Dude.
Yeah, where is...
I think what I like about the oil washes is that like it really sucks into all the cracks. You just don't have to think about it much. You know, it follows the recesses so easily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dude, it's just it's the flow of the body. It's like a really low surface tension paint, so it just wants to run into stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it works pretty good on this like dry dead shrub. That works out all right. It's not staining it as much as I thought it would, but that's okay.
I'm curious what's gonna happen with the screen size. I flipped my screen. You know my OBS overlay tricks.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see what happens.
Let me move my screen.
See what happens. I flipped to an overhead. Let me see. Let's see what pops up on here. Let's flip it. Oh, okay. That's pretty zoomed in. I have my phone out. Yo, I was going to show everybody chat. This is how I keep track of my color recipes. Because I need to reference it. I basically just look at a picture of like I take a picture of all my paints in the series of steps that I apply them in. So it looks like a lot of steps, but a lot of this is pretty fast stuff.
It's a pretty good
But yeah,
idea.
that's my color scheme. Yeah, and then you just favorite it, and then you've got it right as a reference point. You could share it like that way, because you know, if, like as a thing, this is something that like I'm sure you know this kind of big brain time stuff. But like as a content creator, it's easy to get sucked into um the idea that I mean your time just gets sucked away from you, right? Like you're constantly battling to keep your own time back.
Yeah.
And so like when you're in like posting on like a Facebook group or whatever, and somebody's like, "Oh hey, like how did you paint this or whatever," to just be able to post a picture of the recipe instead of explaining it every time is so dope. You're like, here's the picture of the order I painted that.
Prince Knucklehead just asked, how do you pull the wash out of the cracks if you don't want it there? Well, the nice thing is,
Well,
so like an oil wash, you want it everywhere because it's amazing. Latino Hot, what's going on, buddy? How you been? But the truth is, like, with oil, like, and here's, you guys want to like take all of your fucking sepia washes and Nuln oils and like take all this shit and throw it away. Stop fucking using it. Stop it. It's not good because okay, watch this. We got this chess piece here. Say I don't I put this on, I'm like, oh no, it's too dark. I got too much black on it. Seriously, do your soak it off, clean out your brush, get some of the solvent in there, and then just push it out of the spot. And with the solvent, you could then take a paper towel and wipe it off, and before it dries, you're back to square one. It doesn't matter, and that you could wait like 5 or 10 minutes and still come back and do that. So why would you ever use something like Nuln oil to do this? Like, why? Like you're actively making your job harder. And like, I
super agree with this.
This multi-black, it cost me $6, which is the same amount as Nuln oil. And ever
since it's cheaper. I think Nuln oil is $8.
Yeah, well, I get all my stuff from Miniature Market, so it's cheaper at Miniature Market. Okay. It's one of the benefits of having Miniature Market literally 5 minutes away from my work. Is that I get cheap paints. But after I found this out, it's like 4 times the amount of paint, and it lasts longer. And it's like, why would you do anything else? Seriously, why?
I agree. My technique to getting stuff out of the smaller areas is to use just a shitty old detail paintbrush. Like if you use old synthetic brushes to for detail work anyways, like I prefer synthetics for small detail work over sables. Like that's just what I've learned from my personal thing. So I have a ton of very small, very trashed detail synthetic brushes I've collected. Just use those, right? So if you're using the Mr. Weathering, just dip your little tiny paintbrush into that solvent bottle and use that paintbrush to get into those little tiny areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works the same, really.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It just really comes down to how much you want to like the whole debate about like oils and streaking grime and all that is like, how much do you really want to leave on your model? You know what I mean? There's so many different ways to remove it, but it's like, how much do you want to leave behind to add like a weathering effect?
Yeah, I agree. Or you could do like fucking Orky does and make a shiv out of it.
Where's Orky? Is she in here right now?
She was in here.
Fucking mad lad. She was in my stream hanging too. She's a lurker. I don't know.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I was like,
dude, that fucking shiv is
fucking shiv. What is this, prison? Salt and Sassy, how you doing?
Orky is something else, bro. Straight up. That woman.
Prince Knucklehead, are you from? Let's take it. Orky, I love my shiv. Prince Knucklehead, are you from St. Louis? Because St. Louis represent.
Yeah, the Lou, dude, the Lou. I've actually never been there. I know a lot of people from there.
It's pretty cool.
But yeah. Should I switch to I'm gonna switch to my overhead. We'll see if this is still in view. I'll
You're
figure
in
out
view.
where to sit.
You're good. We're both in
I'm
view.
gonna figure out where to position this so that it's in view on the crop that we're running. I still think that this is definitely, I think, the secret multi-stream technique.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
I'm feeling this.
Virtual cam.
I'm feeling it. Virtual cam. Okay, there we go. That works. That's in view. Now I know. Look at, and I got my little weird, goofy side cam. Dude, guess what we figured? Are you ready for some big brain 5-head problems of the day?
5-head problems. Let's hear it.
Dude, okay, here's a problem that we've discovered on my channel. Have you ever been on my channel when my webcam freezes? The one that I run to the side of me painting, like the one that's up on your screen right now. Have you ever been in my channel when that webcam just seizes entirely? It just freezes on a frame? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Okay, we figured out it's directly related to only happening while I'm running my airbrush compressor, which is insane because my webcam doesn't have a power source. It's bus powered. So that goes to my PC, which is plugged into a completely different power source entirely. And my compressor is plugged into a different power strip that's running on the same circuit, but is a different outlet.
Weird.
Dude. Anyways, chat thinks it has to possibly do with vibrations or something like that. So I need to basically pad underneath my compressor. But I'm also starting to think like maybe it's time for Sauce to get a new compressor.
What compressor are you rocking right now?
Dude, I'm rocking the $60 compressor from Harbor Freight.
Hell yeah. That's a good one. Tankless?
Yeah. Tankless, dude. Tanks are traps.
No, tanks are good, man.
Do you like the tank?
I do. I absolutely like the tank.
Why does it do? Why do you like it? I can't get anybody to tell me why they like it.
All right, so here's some big brain shit right here, and this will this will get you convinced on why a tank is good. If you get yourself an airbrush like this, hold on, let me grab it.
Oh man, I'm excited for this. I love having hot takes, but also people challenging those.
Beholder's Horge, what's going on, man? Long time no see. If you have yourself a fucking Grex like this, a big ol', huge paint sprayer, if you do not have a tank, you will not keep solid pressure, meaning you will have primer or paint leaking back into your airbrush because you can't keep it out. So a tank allows you to have more constant pressure.
But you're okay, yes.
And that's the trick. That's why you do it.
Okay, but can you riddle me this? If you're airbrushing like a lot of models in a row, like an absolute savage, aren't you just constantly running out of air in your tank anyways? So then you're basically just getting tank directly from the piston, which I learned is how they're powered today in chat. Thank you, chat, for teaching me that. It runs directly from the piston to it would run immediately through the tank. It wouldn't have time to build up and create pressure to give that evenly distributed pressure.
Yeah, but
that's true or false?
I
don't really know.
It's true and false. Here's the real trick: is that like when you stop to pick up another model on an actual airbrush tank, all you need is like 10 seconds in between a model and you're back at full pressure. I painted a massive picture frame with that brush. What the fuck is going on here? Oh man. Too close together. They were texture painted together. You can just that little bit of break in between is fine. You do it.
Okay. All right.
Mikey.
I'm potentially convinced. I was just telling chat this morning, I was like, if I need to get a new compressor, I'm tempted to get something that I've said is not worth it, like a very expensive like compressor with a tank, like a nice one, dude. Because I'm very curious if a nice compressor matters, or if as long as you just have a compressor. Because for me, the only thing that I've ever cared about on my compressor is the fact that it's 1/5 horsepower, and I'm like, that's all you need. 1/5 horsepower compressor, you're good to go.
Yeah, for sure. So I would not spend a ton on them, but if you can spend a little bit more and get the like no-name brand from spraygunner.com, that's what I have, and it's fantastic. And it's a little bit better than like your Masters brush with the tank. Even those Masters ones are fine. They're just like, it's the quality control. That they don't test them near as much as the other ones. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and all of those, they're all the same thing. Like all the Masters, all the cheap airbrush compressors are the exact same thing.
All of them are. Yeah, they're
I'm
all
so
this shit's
convinced.
made in the same factory, you know, like for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm totally convinced that it's all the same thing.
Well, yeah, why they all have different connectors, that is the thing that will piss me off for the rest of my life. Like, really?
Amen.
Different connectors,
Amen.
you fucking dicks.
Yep. True that.
Katie Lynch, what's
True
going
that.
on? Isaac, how you doing?
Dude, I'm on like
Top hats
Dry
here?
Brush
God,
Base
everybody's
City
here.
right now.
Are ya?
Dry Brush City, bro. You know this town. You've been here.
Oh yeah, I've been there for sure. For certain, I've been there.
Oh man.
Yo, like
Dude,
I remember, huh?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I had a buddy who was like, once you learn dry brushing, it's all it's all gravy from there. And I was like, dry brushing is the bastard technique.
Yeah.
And it's because like he was talking about like dry brushing skin, and I was like, why would you ever dry brush skin?
I know it's brutal. Like you would have to use a really insane filtering technique afterwards to get those blends to work together.
Right. Otherwise, it just looks dusty.
I know.
But
It's like, is your skin scratched on? What color?
what did you do there? He was talking about doing like a horde of Skaven though. I was like, oh well, that's fucking different, man.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
that's
I hear
different.
you. Yeah, I hear you.
Oh man,
Dude, how's these winter cyclone storms been treating you guys? You guys getting crushed on by snow or what? We got like almost we got a foot at my house on Thursday.
oh no shit. We it's been I went out yesterday and you know, wore a hoodie. It was so nice.
Whoa,
I was like,
nice.
look, yeah, that's what it's all about.
It's been not that nice here in the old Colorado.
It's been
rough around here. Rough around these parts.
Yeah, dude. I mean, winter is always tough there, though. Like, you guys have winter until like fucking April.
We really do. Yeah, we get blizzards in April. That's pretty regular.
Yeah.
And then it's done. But those spring blizzards are actually really fun because it's like you'll get like a foot of snow and it'll melt like in 24 hours at the most. And you're like, what the hell just happened?
Right.
Like we've still got days later, we've still got almost a foot of snow still sitting around. Like it's just not going anywhere.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, getting there, Solvent.
Yeah, dude. So Streak and Grime busted AF. Chat got to watch that. There was a few first time Grimers in chat today, and they're like, "What the fuck?
What is happening here?
Like, what the fuck is this trick?" Because yeah, I finished. I needed to base coat the metallic trim on one of 20 Rubik Marines. That was all that was left. Was metallic trim. Painted a little bit of detail on them. Did Streak and Grime on 19 models in one stream. Like it's just so fast, dude. And like when people like, and all the grime time took like an hour. You know what I mean? It's just so fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
I mean, I get why you wouldn't want to do that on everything, but if you're making a Grimdark army and you're not doing it, you are
playing yourself.
Yeah. You are playing yourself for sure.
Yeah.
Mikey, it is the sauce. So if you haven't seen the episode with the sauce that we did a couple weeks back, Trenton's a buddy. That's who the other guy is.
Yeah. We're boys. This is my boy.
Yeah. So
yeah, me and Heath are like same brained about a lot of stuff.
It's
always nice to connect on.
It's pretty messed up. I was having I've been having kind of like a crisis of trying to figure out what the podcast should be. And part of it is that you and I have talked about it. Like, one of the best parts about Trapped Under Plastic is the fact that you got two buddies who hang out and talk.
Yep.
And that's fucking great.
Yep.
And I was like, I miss having a team. I miss having, friends. Like, it sucks being in my own echo chamber all the time,
bro.
And so I'm sitting here just kind of trying to figure out what the future is, how I want to proceed with this project. And I was like, a guest host would be cool. And Geekette was like, You and the sauce have like the right repertoire. I was like, oh, I have already thought that the if I was ever to do this with somebody in the miniature painting community, it would be the sauce.
Yeah, dude, I think that there like everything is changing so fast with how I think miniature painters should operate on this platform right now.
Yeah.
And like end goals for growth and like where you get bang for your buck. Like, dude, my mind has been changing so fast lately, and like I'm stuck on like literally. So did you watch? Did you spend the like 45-50 minutes on the full Ludwig video, the full like growing on Twitch video?
I did not know.
Dude, it is the best 45 minutes I've spent thinking about how to actually effectively do this hobby in a long time, or like how to effectively be a content creator in this hobby in a long time.
Really?
Like, it was a lot of big revelations. Yeah, for reals. And he spends a lot of time talking about like, and he has really hot takes, which I think is really good, right? Like, if you're going to listen to somebody, Ludwig's like, I think he said at the time that he was filming it, he was like the 42nd biggest Twitch streamer in the world. And he just shit facts the whole time. He's like literally, it was this hilarious. Like, dude fucking put together a PowerPoint presentation and live streamed it. And not only is that like just hilarious content, but like it was so thought provoking, dude. I learned so much and thought so differently about stuff. But like a couple of my big like realizations and takeaways were like he has really hot takes, right? That I love, right?
Yeah.
So one of his hot takes that I really like is he's like, you have to work harder. And that was it. But his delivery is really good. Like, I don't know if he has public speaking in his background. Like, that's what my degree is in. And so, like, I can really appreciate like people who are like good speakers and good public communication, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
he has really good delivery, which helps his brand, right? But like the way he delivered this PowerPoint was fucking incredible, dude. But basically, he's like, you need to go basically, or like one of his points on how to improve was literally just be better. And then he elaborated it more, but he summed it up with basically like, you have to be better than everybody else trying to hit the same goal as you.
Yeah.
And he's like, and just so you know, I work harder than you, so you're never going to beat me to the goal. And I was like, damn, that is a hot take, but I respect that.
Yeah. I work like, harder than you. I've been doing this longer
real,
than you.
Like, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So good fucking luck. But I like that kind of like brutal mentality, right? Where you're like, shit, if I want to like power through this, I do have to be better than every one of my, like, you know what I mean? It's real, but this is, I'm about it, but I'm such a like metagaming asshole. Like, even at life where it's like, how do I like achieve the most, the fastest? That's just how I operate, So I don't know. I always love to hear people who talk in that extreme and like that bold, where I'm like, I can connect with this message.
I mean, the things that I've been saying, like,
it's just, I don't know. It makes sense.
It's all the hot takes that I've had in this in world, like they all kind of come back to like one main aspect, and like I think if all of us are just way more honest with ourselves about what we can achieve out of stuff, like how much work we're actually wanting to get into. It's like everybody wants to be famous, but nobody wants to fucking do the work to be famous, like that's the pits. And so like if you can understand like what your sacrifice will be, and what price you're willing to pay for the level that you're going to get to, I think you can be much happier. Like there's this idea, like our generation got taught that we can be anything that we want. Anything, like literally anything that you want. You want to be a fucking astronaut, you can be an astronaut. You want to be a neurosurgeon, you can be a neurosurgeon. You can fucking do these things. But the lie that they didn't tell us, the detail that they fucking forgot to miss, is that like you could only do one of those things well. So like if that's what you want to do, you have to sacrifice everything else to be it. If you want to be the best in that, it becomes the main thing. You can't be like, I'm going to be a fucking heart surgeon this week, and I'm going to be a librarian next week, and I want to be a fireman the next week. And, like, no, you have to fucking pick a lane and you have to stay in it. And that is the real truth. And while content creation and all of these things, you can have, with anything that's public facing, you can have those like people who got fucking lucky, but most of the time it's not luck. And if you think
Oh,
that
yeah.
it's luck, you are minimizing the amount of work that other people have put into
Yep.
this.
It's all positioning, dude. Didn't we talk
Yeah.
about this?
I think we did.
Positioning.
Yeah.
Dude,
What's up,
positioning
Scotch
is
and
everything.
Hobbies? Mikey, you can totally use grime through an airbrush. Just make sure
I do.
that you like a respirator is smart. As you're now throwing like you're atomizing really much harsher chemicals than just standard acrylic paint, and make sure you clean it well, or just get a shit airbrush that is only for that.
Yep, bingo. That's my advice. I airbrush streak and grime probably 3 to 5 days a week, and I do it through a shit airbrush.
Yep.
That's how I do it.
The master
You just gotta
special.
clean it afterwards and just be. Yep, the master special, $20 holla. That thing is so fucking obnoxiously good for $20. Like I seriously cannot.
It
get
hurts
that
my
airbrush.
fingers. So glad I wasn't the only person thinking that, man. Fucking always hurt my fingers using that one.
Yeah, dude. So okay. Anyways, also sidebar. Yes, obviously, I would love to collaborate on anything with you. I love
Sure.
spending time with same brain people. So I'm going back to that. Yes, for sure. Love that. But dude, I think that you do something that's super important as a content creator that I've always been impressed with. That we've talked about it, but like you take that step back and you're super hypercritical about what you're doing and why you're doing it, which means that you're like analyzing your time, analyzing your gains, and you're like, why am I working on this right now?
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of this project? And like, dude, that is like successful big brain time. You know what I mean? Like, not enough people are that critical of themselves to be able to take that step back and be like, hey, this is not fucking working, and here's why.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to succeed at anything unless you're either have a really good feedback system set up that you don't have to be that critical. But even getting a good feedback system, even paired with self feedback and self analysis, is like so key. And like I
Yeah.
think that's where a lot of content creators like plateau, is they're not like breaking down why they're not growing and thinking about it. As long as your numbers are going in the direction you like, probably keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But like you still have to take that step in to like still sit back and be like, okay, is this really working right now? Or is this just, a streak or whatever? Like, am I just popping for some reason that's outside of my content,
Sure.
which can happen, especially if you're on YouTube or anywhere else. Shit can just take off overnight. And you have to really be able to like, at the end of the day, you're ultimately like your biggest feedback filter, right? Like you really have to understand why you're winning and why you're losing, and be able to make changes quick as a content creator. And so that's why that's what I always like talking to you about, is because you do that like more than anybody I know in this hobby. You're like, hey man, I don't really think, or I'm thinking about changing this, and like it's nice to spitball that with you.
Yeah.
But like,
Well,
dude, it's really cool that we are same brained about that.
I think that the difference is too is like, I think that there's probably some people who are listening to this and be like, all these motherfuckers want to do is get big. And you know what? Like, if I could fucking get Squidmar big tomorrow if I knew the fucking like exact thing to do to get there, I would do it. Because like I love entertaining people, I love helping people, and I love doing the hobby. So if I can do these things all together, that's what I'd fucking do. Like no qualms. Like I'm not putting on any errors on that one. But here's the thing. I look at these things because I find myself being like, am I still happy doing this? Like, and it's the same thing when I was doing music. Like I didn't look at like what I was doing as in like, I wonder if other people would like this thing more. I'm wondering if I would like doing this other thing more. If my time is better spent doing something else. So
yeah. Torag has a interesting point in chat. Torag says, especially with COVID, when the shit blows over, I think content creators will take a hit. I think that you're not wrong.
We've already seen it on Twitch though. Like we've seen some streams be like high on their horse and not high on their horse, even in our little thing. So like, I mean,
I think go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, and Twitch viewership is like way down, like from beginning of COVID to now. So like, you're not wrong.
I agree. Yeah. The wave is already on the outs for sure. Definitely the wave is on the outs, but at the same time, I think that there's like, there's always a new meta, right? And I think that there is a new meta that exists obviously because of COVID.
I know obviously, a new meta. I
Oh
know
yeah,
New Meta.
actual
He's
new
in
meta.
chat. And Astro Zombiac,
But there,
thanks, man. I'm glad that you're here, man.
there's actually a new meta for content, right?
Yes,
Like
there
COVID
is.
permanently changed content, and COVID permanently changed a ton of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, love it or hate it, I got a feeling we're going to be wearing masks on airplanes for the next 5 years. You know what I mean? Like, this shit's not changing people. And
Dude,
so, like, shit's changed. You know
we
what I
should
mean?
have
And
been
that's fine.
wearing
And I think the
masks on
people who adapt
airplanes
to
for
that,
years. Now that you think about it, like,
yeah, agreed.
so last night I
Yeah.
went to a movie theater with a buddy because he rented the whole fucking thing out, and we watched Get Out, which, man,
That's so
it's been
dope.
so long since I've seen Get Out. That movie's so fun.
I've never seen that.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Like Jordan Peele, he manages
Oh, I
like
have seen that. I have seen it. It's the movie with the family that comes after, like, with the guy, like he goes to visit like the girlfriend's family for the first time.
yeah.
Dude, that's so fucking crazy. Oh my
Yeah,
god, I have seen that movie.
that movie was insane. And I, as I'm sitting here watching it in a theater, I was like, it's been 2 years since I've been in a theater. I don't think I've been in a theater since we saw Midsummer. So it's been like
Oof.
2 years. It's been a long time. And
Yeah.
and I was kind of freaking out. And we were talking about his bachelor party where he was sick and like coughing and like still on his bachelor party. He's like, "Can you believe that we used to do that?" Like,
Dude.
oh, it's just a cold, It's just and I was like, yeah, dude, it's fucking weird. It's weird that's totally all right. We all were all right with it.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you're like, yeah. Do you remember people all the time used to be like, I'm coming into work, I'm just sick. Don't worry about it.
Don't
It's
worry
just,
about
yeah,
it.
I'm just sick. Don't worry about it.
Or you work in fast food and you're like, I'm sick, and they're like, yeah, well, you better be here or you're gonna lose your fucking
Oh my
job. And you're
God,
like,
dude.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
gonna cough all
Okay.
over the food here. This fish
Yep.
fryer is gonna be disgusting.
Yep.
Dude, so Mikey, here's an interesting thing. So the Twitch ecosystem is twitchy as hell, and for multiple different reasons. Like the actual infrastructure is basically held together by gum and nuts. Like it's about ready to break at any given second. And the way that discoverability works on here, which is non-existent, like as being like smaller creators, we're actually probably get recommended more to the people who want to see us than somebody who's streaming like God of War or fucking Call of Duty or Divergent. I don't know what these gamers play anymore. I haven't turned on my PS4 in years.
What is it? Fantagasm, the ghost hunting game? I watched that for way too long yesterday.
Fantagasm, is that what it's called?
I don't know what it's called. Something like that.
I mean, I think I've seen that.
Phasgasm?
I think Fantagasm is a an ICP porno. It's all about
Sign me
Orky,
up.
have a nice night. It's great being here. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, dude, I agree. I think that it's totally sad that it took a pandemic for us to actually like take this shit seriously and not spread communicable disease all over the place. I need to grab a couple models and move these to the side.
You're good.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I'll carry chat for you. I'll carry the torch, dog. Chat, this is our channel now. Now's the time. Take over. Sauce Nation. Phasmophobia, that's what it's called. It's a game about being really scared of phasmas.
Have you seen MinMax's clip where she's playing the game and she goes from being like, this game isn't too scary, to like her screaming louder than you've ever heard another person scream in your entire life?
No.
Oh, dude,
I need to watch this now.
It's fucking hilarious. If you guys aren't in the Discord, you should definitely get into the Brush Coven Discord as well. I know all of the Sauce streamers are in Sauce Nation, but like if you hit !Discord, come on over, hang out in the Brush Coven, hang out in the Murder Basement. There's a bunch of really great people. Like I think that we all would get along very well. God, these oil wash things look so badass. Sit here and just like throw models down for me to paint.
Yeah, baby.
Oh God.
Dude, I love a good batch painting session, man.
Especially when you're
Just
doing
the
something
feeling
like
of
grime.
completeness at the
Just
end.
doing grime. It feels so
Oh
good.
my god, just getting it so done. Oh my god, it feels good, dude. Feels good, man. I had to explain the feels good meme to my wife the other day. I think she's always like, "What are you talking about, man?"
You know, it's such a guilty pleasure. Like, I fucking hate painting in batch, but when I can, I love it.
I know,
Except
dude.
for
And
that
the whole time I curse it, I'm like, God damn it, I hate doing this. And then you start getting close to the end and you're like, maximum load size incoming. Like you start to really feel it in your plums, dude. It
Yeah,
starts
dude.
to hit hard.
From the depths of your soul, you're just like, fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
Set those all
Dude,
by
so what
the heater. The heater will fix all. All right, continue.
Yeah. What are you spitballing? Do you want to spitball what you're thinking about, like the series of your content, or are you still in like the really dark pit of the spitballing, the behind the doors spitballing?
So one of the things that I've been criticized about is not keeping any secrets. Like you know, someone on my Patreon was like, "Dude, you don't have to tell us everything. You know, you can just kind of like give us like a little glimpse in. You don't actually have to go here all the time." I'm like, "No, see, here's the thing. Like, you guys don't understand this. You think that I'm locked in here with you? No, you're locked in here with me."
Yes, dude.
Richard, you'll be my
I
co-host.
fucking love that. Yeah.
I am all about bouncing ideas off, because if something's good, sometimes you end up with a movie like Tusk, where like if it wasn't for what's his name's podcast, Kevin Smith, right? It's the guy who did Jay and Silent Bob, right? Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. His podcast, they were talking about a movie where a podcaster goes full walrus, and he makes the movie Tusk after it. It's a fucking joke. Like a 30-second joke turns into a movie that actually is one of the best movies he's done in years.
I've never seen it.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch Tusk.
I know. Maybe I'll rent it after this.
Dude, he goes full walrus.
Yes,
He goes
dude.
full walrus. So here's the kind of the idea. Like, I think conversations are gonna keep on happening. I think they're important.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun with the people I've done, and I've made a lot of friends over the past, and that's important to me, and I never want to minimize the time that anybody has spent with me. But also, there are times where I've done things where, like, I took work off for the day to do this, and by the end I felt like that was I shouldn't have taken off work. I'm better off at work, you know.
Right.
Like, just in my regular life, I need to be
Yeah.
better. And so that's kind of my my place right now, where I'm like, I need to since this isn't paying the bills. I love my
Right.
Patreon. I love my subscribers. You guys are the fucking best. You make me feel really good. But like, basically, this is keeping me in the hobby right now.
Right.
Like, as far as like money comes in, like, pays for paints, it pays for models, pays for paintbrush. That's about it.
Which is not bad.
And yeah, and Astro Zombiac says there, the best part of the interviews is like the full exposure, because we can, if somebody feels you know, comfortable enough to go there, we can get into it, and we can talk about things that other people won't. And
I agree.
And that's really special, and I've had many people get really real with me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that more than I think they will ever totally understand, you know. So I love that, and that's something that I want to keep doing, but it needs to make sense as far as my time and my efforts. So I need to take a step back from doing episodes in any sort of regular schedule. I think that needs to happen when it makes sense. And so then here's the thing, because like, if you don't have a podcast releasing shit all the time, you know, viewership goes down, listeners go down, you know, and so like all those conversations, you know, start to not matter as much. So I want to take it to like a season sort of format, where I take like the last 6 months of episodes, and I kind of find whatever the through narrative is, and edit them down into episodes that are kind of more like This American Life sort of thing, where like there's slices of it. They're a little bit more thought provoking, um, and special for anybody who's listening. And
Right.
that's where I think I want to push the podcast to be more in that sort of vein. And I know that
Yeah.
that's a
Okay.
really difficult place to be. I know that that's I'm saying big names, but I think with the idea of doing it, I think putting it out into the open is a good way to try to mentally wrap my head around an undertaking like that.
Yeah. I think that it's I mean, you're bang on with your thought analysis, right? Like stepping back and be like, what's working, what's not working, what can I move into different channels? How can I keep what's working going? What do I need to change?
Right.
Like, dude, I used to in my previous job, we used to do this thing during like our one-on-one sessions, like with my leader. We would sit down and we would talk, and we used to call it start, stop, continue. And I think it's super important. So basically, you just think like, okay, what do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? And what do I need to continue doing? And it's a super easy way to just think about what's happening around you.
Yeah.
And like, I think content creation for me, I kind of end up in the same spot a lot. I'm like, okay, what do I need to continue doing? Because what's working? What do I need to stop doing because I'm wasting my time on it and there's no return on my value? And
Right.
what do I need to start doing that could add additional value that I'm not aware of?
Sure.
And like, dude, I love those kind of thought camps. Did you go through that? Have you gone through that Devin Nash checklist recently?
So I looked at it, and I was like, I'm like square in the middle of doing all of these things. Like, even though I don't have like I'm doing not, even though I'm not technically doing a checklist, I'm fucking
Yeah.
doing it. And so like I'm trying to understand what the just what makes me happy right now. And it isn't what's
Dude,
working, it's what makes me happy. And that right now is like prime focus. And
yeah.
live stream, hanging out with people. The fucking live stream is the best thing I've ever done in my entire life, as
Dude,
far as like
yeah.
like mental happiness to fulfillment. Because like
Yeah.
live music, I did that for since I was fucking 15 years old. Like I
Yeah.
I needed something different, but kind of hit the same spot, and Twitch gave that to me, and this community
Dude.
gave that to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm willing to keep on doing live streams. Like, that's the one thing that I'm like, if people keep on showing up, I'm going to keep on doing them because I enjoy
Yeah.
it. And the Discord things have been really cool. That shit I never would have done back in 2000. I would have been like,
Right.
no, we've got to get flyers out. It's just like a different sort of mentality.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's different. Like everything is because I had a bunch of music background too, and it's weird how much shift transitions over.
yeah,
Always weird.
yeah,
Like making content is making content. You know what I mean?
exactly,
It like
exactly.
flows everywhere. It's crazy, but there's so many similarities between, especially like the music making scene and like music production and the music industry, and what we're seeing in the miniature community. And it's crazy because like I think people who've been in the music industry see it. They're like, "Whoa, I know what's fucking happening." And
Yeah.
like I see the growth happening right now. And I see some of like the good things because of it. I see some of the bad things because of it. Like it's very interesting. But yeah, I think it's always interesting to bump into other people from the music industry because you're like, hey, you know shit. You've seen shit.
Right. You've been through some shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You've seen the nasty side of content. You know what
Yeah.
this is like. And it's crazy. But it makes your brain way more prepared for what can happen in the content space. The music industry is so fucked up and brutal, dude. It's awful place. It's oh god. The actual industry itself is so fucked. But like it's so crazy because it's such a pure form of art in theory, and like the way that it's carried out is just so bizarre, man. The things that happen in record labels and behind the doors are just fucking nuts.
Well, it starts out so pure, but like, I think that the people who are really honest with what they're doing, like the fucking what's the guy who did the Doom soundtrack, like he was like, I'm never gonna make music in a band. I'm gonna make music for video games that is close enough, like the compromise that he made to be where he's at, and have it be such a realistic, like, I'm gonna do this because I know it's gonna get me closer to my dream of making music for a living. And now he's like, doing pretty fucking amazing shit, really.
Yeah. Behind the scenes in the music industry would be a huge eye opener for anyone outside of that. Big true.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Huge
and
true.
like just to sit down in a Spotify boardroom and wonder why they're paying fucking, okay, so I love Last Podcast on the Left. If any of you guys aren't watching or listening to Last Podcast on the Left right now, they're doing a whole series on Aleister Crowley, which is like, one of those things that I've always kind of been an anti-Crowley guy, even though I like his Magic of Thelema sort of movement. Even though it has like zero personal responsibility, which is where like modern day Satanism works much better for me than the Magic of Thelema. But the way that they're talking about him, Mick Gordon, that's his fucking name, Mick Gordon. He's got the fat beats, yes. They have a Patreon where they have 11,000 subscribers, and I did the math. They roughly bring in about $62,000 a month for their podcast. And I think that they got paid for exclusivity on Spotify somewhere close to like a couple million for like their network's content. So
that is crazy.
Why are they getting that much shit when they already have this much money coming in because of support from like viewers like you? Like, why are they getting that when like any musician who is getting any sort of listens on there is getting, fractions of a penny per listen, like that's where the real problem is. There's you want to know why everybody's like, this is a horrible time for music? No, it's actually an amazing time for music. It's a horrible time to make money in music. Brush for Hire, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, because I mean, a big problem is like it's so saturated, dude. There's so many, like, fuck, man, especially like in the electronic music scene, because you were in that too.
Oh, fuck,
dude,
yeah.
fucking it went from a cult that nobody even wanted to be your friend because you were a DJ to everybody and their mom was a DJ all of a sudden. And it was like there was nothing unique anymore. You were just like, oh, hello, new DJs.
Yeah.
And like it saturated the market and ruined all the value, dude. Like everything is so oversaturated in the music scene, and the record labels have had to do like horrible shit to try and compensate for it. And they have to, like, if you back a record label into the corner, they will do horrible shit. And it's been proven time and time again in the last 10, 15 years.
They will sue you for your fucking likeness.
Yeah. And so
I have a friend straight up. She used to be a fucking beauty model. She was like, trying to become Miss America. And so like she was like Miss Tennessee or some shit a couple years back. And like now, like her main gig is DJ, and it's so funny because like, if you would have asked me when I was in high school if those two things would ever be the same, like a musician who's respected in a community could also be a beauty queen, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? That isn't art. And like the truth is like that world is completely blurred now. They're the same, one and the same. And and because electronic music is so accessible to make content in, you get a lot of people in there.
Yep.
Nevik, what's going 100%. On, man? Dude, Mini Gamer J, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the party. People are really liking your episode. I hope you're getting good responses for it.
Who, me?
No, people like the sauce as well, but Mini Gamer J from Aeons of Battle, people are liking that episode.
I need to watch that one.
And I've
been so busy, I haven't been able to keep up with content lately.
I don't know if I got the podcast up. It's been one of those weeks, and that's the other thing that this challenge has taught me is I can't do a full-on month challenge and keep any of my responsibilities straight.
Oh yeah, I got clapped on my challenge with a similar thought process, I would say.
Clapped. I love it.
Clapped me good. Clapped me good, bro.
Yep, it's the way it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think the argument about oversaturation is really important. Like the other day, actually, we were talking about, and actually she just left. I think she's streaming right now. Orky left, but dude, so the other day, everybody was talking at my channel. We were talking about YouTube or whatever, what's going on. And I was on my usual, like, hobby space meta rant or whatever. Like, this is how I think content should be being made right now, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you guys want a really fucking spicy take? I think painting tutorials are dead on YouTube. I think it's too saturated.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I think everybody's making a painting tutorial, which is fine. Like this, oh my god, I'm sure people are gonna take this the wrong way. So let me try to pre-damage control this as much as possible. Do whatever makes you happy when
Right.
you make content. Like if it calls to you to make tutorials, do it. And if that's what makes you happy, do it. But as somebody who's made tutorials, it takes a lot of time to do them. But yeah, do whatever makes you happy. Okay, just remember that before I say what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I think painting tutorials are a trap on YouTube right now because I think it's too flooded with general to entry level tier content. Not even necessarily like what's covered in it. Just the actual content itself is really entry tier. Just being brutally honest about a lot of the tutorials I see. And the problem is the market's already flooded with amazing tutorial content. There's already so many established people that to be able to get a foothold on YouTube by just making painting tutorials is so hard.
Yeah. Have you watched any of Studson Creates or Studson Miniatures? Or he basically makes buildings out of like my favorite Fig Newton boxes, and makes like things from like Princess Mononoke and shit like that, and does these like 15-minute long YouTube videos. Very well done. He has had like a real explosion because like Studson Studios, yeah, there you go. It's amazing content. There is no real tutorial, and he's just like, I'm doing this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude,
that's awesome, Brush Ryer.
Yeah, well, there goes all my ideas to make tutorials. Listen, if it makes you happy, do it. Like ultimately, at the end of the day, that's absolutely what you should do. But if a part of your happiness comes from growth and trying to expand your brand, I don't think tutorials are going to help you right now. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, well, unless you've got like
you're
a
an
really
absolute expert.
No. Fuck being an expert. Nobody gives a shit about being an expert.
Unless you
got the charm.
God, I love hot takes.
Once you got the charm, and people feel that they want to get behind you, they'll get behind whatever you do. You can fucking teach them how to make a cold bowl of cornflakes, and they'd be like, "Fuck yeah, cornflakes! I love cornflakes."
Yo, KD Lynch,
dude,
you know what's fucking crazy? That video title would work.
It would, and I would be there for it.
I would watch that video. That's the busted part about YouTube. Is the dumber your YouTube gets, in theory, the more YouTube you get. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to grow on YouTube from a YouTube standpoint and not trying to grow as like a painter, that kind of shit gets dumb hits. My last upload to YouTube was called The Sauce vs. Alexa Farting. And it was just me live streaming. I plugged in Alexa the other day. I've got an Alexa that sits behind me while I stream now, and I put in a new channel redeem called Ask My Robot Girlfriend a Question, and chat just makes me ask Alexa questions. And the other day, she just went on a fart rip, and I pulled that out of Twitch, put that on YouTube. Like, I think YouTube is for silly tier content these days.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm not really trying too hard on YouTube right now. I like to just have content on there, but I'm just pulling stuff out.
Have you watched Oliver Tree on YouTube?
No.
Okay. I was just hip to Oliver Tree the other day through I think MinMax shared it in the Brush Coven. And Oliver Tree is a mediocre songwriter who does kind of like this like post grunge, like, hip hop pop music. Oliver, yeah, he's really fucking funny. Oh my god, dude, Donkey is one of the best YouTube creators out there. Donkey's the shit. But Oliver Tree looks like what I probably wanted to look like in 1996. And his music kind of is like it's got some introspection, but it's also like extremely shallow, and but it's really good. Like when his songs are on, they're really fucking on. And he's got 1.5 million followers on there. Yeah, Brush Ryer, you're right. His lyrics are much deeper, but also they are as flat as he needs them to be for people to get into them. So like it's one of those things, like it's this double-edged sword. Like you can get into his shit and enjoy it for what it is, or you can just kind of like not take it super seriously. But that's the type of shit that does well on YouTube right now. It's this kind of weird, I'm trying to think of the right term, like fucking awkward core, awkward core entertainment.
Yeah. Dude, so yeah, my growth plan right now on YouTube is just make bullshit, like shit tier only, bad content only for YouTube. Like literally just pull junky content out of my Twitch streams, like just obvious dumb YouTube stuff. And then that way it's just it grows there, right? That's really, I think you just need to upload shit to YouTube to grow, right? It'll grow over time if you have a strong enough fan base anywhere else. Like the growth trick to YouTube is just put shit on there. It's the same growth trick as Instagram,
which is the same.
It actually turns out it's secretly the same growth trick.
Twitch, it's all the same. Yeah, just put shit where people are there, and eventually people will follow you to another platform. Here's the fucked up thing that I really hate to admit. You know where I'm getting the most views right now?
Where?
TikTok.
Fuck, dude. You know who's talking about this? You know who's trying to talk me into making a TikTok right now? Fucking Orky, dude.
Orky.
Straight up. She's like, why don't you have a TikTok? Like, what are you doing? And now we can't stop laughing. Like the other day we were in her channel. She was like, watch this. She was like, oh, Sauce, watch this trick. And she pulls up her TikTok and she's like, look at, I posted this thirst trap. And she's got like a Warhammer channel, but then she's just got this one hilarious like thirst trap video that she put on there. And no fucking joke, 15 minutes later, some dude shows up and he's like, hey, Orky, I'm a big fan from TikTok. And I'm like, oh my God, what is happening right now? Like all of chat was just like, oh, it worked.
Yeah, it fucking works, man. And you know what?
Amazing.
I think you and I need to start being a little bit more realistic about the need for himbos in the miniature painting community. Like, women can't just totally own the thirst trap thing. You fucking walk around in Uggs and short shorts. Like
I do. That's true.
Like fucking that right there is the month of May in my himbos of miniature painting calendar I've been thinking about. That's my third tier down the way, content creation growth.
Dude, I'm gonna message you offline about a real life himbo story that actually happened to me. So
Did somebody pay you with beer to take photos of your feet?
I don't know. I'll hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up.
And take it off. Point, put it on. And I want everybody to understand when I talk about things like awkward core and Oliver Tree not being near as good as what it should be. Like truth be told, like if I'm listening to it, I find something valid in there. I'm just like super hypercritical on what people do in music and content. Like it's all right to make music that sucks if that's the thing that works for you. And while I'm not saying that his music sucks, I think that the tracks that really hit are really fucking good. But some of them are like total just like, they're collab tracks to get people to look at his shit. It is the meta of content creation happening in an album, like right in front of you. You don't even fucking realize that's what's happening. And and that it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just a thing. And so as long as we're like all being honest with it and accepting what it is, no harm, no foul. It's when people are like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. I'm like, is it though? Is it? I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I just shake my paint up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think TikTok might be the future. TikTok might be a thing.
Until it's not, until something else takes it down. I thought fucking Snapchat was going to be the future, and then who talks about Snapchat anymore?
Dude, I open mine very rarely.
Yeah, I had one for my band that I think I did for like 2 seconds. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized how off camera I've been painting all my bass rims. Everybody probably wants to see a good clean rimming, but I'm doing it off camera.
Dude, we love rimmings in the murder basement.
Dude, who doesn't?
I don't know. I don't know.
Who doesn't?
I think everybody does. Oh, I mean, like
my
there,
gosh, dude.
it's unabashedly that they're just looking for your shopping habits and your viewing habits. Like it is what it is. I mean, like
Uh,
TikTok is not hiding it, and I'm
I
all
love
right
the
with
direction
that.
of music.
You know, fuck it.
Yeah, Brush, I think that you're half right for sure. I think that there's still really horrible stuff going on in the record label industry, but I think a lot of people separating to like even release copyright music and just do their own thing, whatever. I think it's pretty cool. There has been a big influx of like, yo, fuck this mentality in the music industry that we haven't seen like this ever. But there's still a lot of really horrible shit happening in there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
for
I agree.
sure.
I think compared to the past, it's much more like receptive and freeform than it's ever been. There's a lot more people who are like, "Oh, you don't like the way I'm going to do things? Cool, I'm going indie. Fuck you guys." And I think that that's pretty respectable.
Dude, new meta. You're totally right. Like I think you're naked on a BMX is the way to do it. I was thinking about using this guy as my merkin because like once you put like all of its like dreads on, it's kind of like it.
Love it. All right, more base rimming, dude. These, I think I'm gonna finish my rubrics today. So I've painted 20 rubric marines in like 8 days in the background of all of my other content,
Nice.
minus the eyes. But I can do the eyes pretty quick. But dude, I took a crazy short deadline commission, which I never do. But I was like, okay, I think I can crank this out.
Sometimes it's fun to challenge yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was my big W from the Ink 28. Is like ultimately at the end of the day, my Ink 28 month challenge project. I feel like, and I've told chat this, I'm like, dude, this challenge beat me, you guys. Like straight up, it beat me. But like I learned so much. I made so many mistakes, and chat literally watched me talk through mistakes. And they'd be like, "Are you gonna fix this?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm just accepting it."
But did it
Like
beat
I'm just
you?
accepting
Like
it.
if you've learned those things and you did it,
Right.
is that being beaten? I don't think it is, man.
Yeah, it's secretly I agree. I think that's the secret thing is like I just know me and I know how hard on myself I am.
Sure.
So I know that I'm like, oh, this beat me up. But like at the end of the day, I'm like, fuck, I learned so much, dude. This Ink 28 project, I learned so much. I tried so much new stuff. I made so many mistakes that I've learned from. And like, so yeah, it did beat me, but secretly I won.
I think you won. I think you won.
I do too. Secretly though. Because it did not appear that way on some of my streams. It was going badly.
Oh,
There was an entire model that I forgot.
You were very frustrated. I could tell in a couple times that I, creeped on you. I was like, yeah, it's all right. It's all right, buddy. You got this.
It's hard, dude. Learning a style, and the thing is, I think we both did it right. Like, what I did in mind that worked really hard against me is I set such an absurd timeline on it, and the stipulation I put on it is that this was a project I would only work on stream.
Yeah.
Which is like I have such limited time of day to be streaming, and so that already naturally puts such an insane limitation on the project.
Well,
and so when it came time for like,
you never get as much shit done on stream as you like think that you're going to.
no, like the more you stream, the less productive you get because you get more people in chat. I mean, I guess the exception to that is Brush, who's literally in chat right now. Who I don't know how he still outputs the amount of work he does with as many people as he has in chat. It's actually insane.
It's his
like,
100% banana diet.
I could go an entire 2-hour stream, try to keep up with like a 40, 50 person chat and getting nothing done because all I'm doing is talking to chat.
See, Brush, like biggest examples of that was 21 Pilots selling out 30,000 seated stadiums. But here's the difference between Oliver Tree and 21 Pilots. 21 Pilots is good. That's the fucking difference. Hot take.
I get asked that all the time. Are you afraid of making mistakes on stream? I'm like, nope. We all make mistakes. I talk about that too. And my one up to that is I always tell chat, I'm like, your favorite painter makes way more mistakes than you see, but your favorite painter is just really good at covering them up.
Yeah.
I think that the best painters in the world just understand how to like offset the issues that happen with painting mistakes better than other people. Because there's no way that you could paint literal miniature models. Literally, they're called miniature models without making mistakes. It's just like, And the better you get, obviously, the less mistakes happen. But I think really good painters are really good at minimizing the damage from mistakes. And like that's what I constantly am preaching to chat is it's like, yeah, watch me fuck up. Guess what? I'll show you how to fix it now.
Dude, it's the same with tattoos. Nevik, you're totally fucking right, man. You're totally right.
Yep.
So
and
like,
that's like, I mean,
you know,
I was gonna say that's the real secret. Go ahead.
Well, you like you're right, and like so here's like anecdotal evidence of something like not to brag, but one point in time, one of my demonettes got picked up on a Spiky Bits post.
Yeah,
which is like kind of awesome, but also kind of totally fucked up that like you open up your Spiky Bits email in the morning and you're like, oh, that model looks familiar. And you realize that they just stole your fucking content off of Instagram. And like, it's like humbling, but also like, hey man, like you're fucking making ad revenue off of my fucking demonette here. And it's not even like a good shot. It was like not a finished model. And I was like, God, I just like I'm looking at this. I was like, I fucking hate it. I see all my mistakes. It's not done. And why is it there? Like, hey, thanks, but also like, no thanks. And one of my friends who, you know, I was kind of teaching how to mini paint. She's like, see, all you can see is your mistakes, and all we can see is a cool fucking model. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Like that is something that like, you know, the artist is always way more critical on themselves than the people watching it, and some people just want to see this shit. Now, whether or not it's ethical to make, you know, content off of somebody else's Instagram without fucking asking, that's a different story. But
it sounds very meta to me of what they're up to. But
yeah, I mean, like, I get it. Like, and you know, and in the end, it was kind of one of my first steps into thinking that I could actually, you know, make hobby content that people would actually watch. So
right,
there's that.
Dude, I just finished my base rims. I just finished my rim job, everybody. Do you guys want to? You guys want to see what I did for my? See if I get some good lighting on these guys. My camera's like, oh, there we go. Now it's cooperating. This is some of my Ink 28 I hammered out.
Hell yeah!
Came out not too bad,
dude. That shit looks good,
first
man.
Lad. Thanks, dude. Yeah, that's the first guy. I did like a 6-man squad basically. I need to fix some of the details on them, but they're pretty close. But they're all based. I just need to do photography on them and stuff like that. But yeah, chat decided to remind me. They're like, hey, you were talking about doing a Cyberdog and you just completely forgot about the Cyberdog. So chat will remind me probably forever. Forever, I'm going to be just getting shit on by chat. They'll be like, hey, whatever happened to the dog that you were going to paint during that month?
Hey, like we don't talk about that. One half of the illustrious Trapped Under Plastic is here, Ninjon. What's up, my friend? How you doing?
What up, Ninjon?
Come get oily with us.
Come get in the Grim Doink Pit with us. Cover yourself in grime.
The Doink Pit, yeah. Do you want to join us in the miniature painting himbo calendar where we're all like, we all get nice and oily for our adoring fans?
Yeah, join us, John.
Join us.
Embrace your inner himbo. Yeah. Yeah, but I think they came out pretty good. This lady in particular came out pretty crispy. I really enjoyed where this conversion went and how this happened. It was legit. But it was a super fun project. I mean, I feel like it kicked my ass, but I learned so much.
Dude, I love your sensibilities with the grimdark stuff because like it has like a modern feel to it, and I'm using paint all over my Ninjon hoodie right now, and Ninjon says, don't have to ask me twice, don't have to threaten me with a good time. Perfection is the enemy of perfection. Truth. I love how like your style is like so blended but also completely nasty all at the same time. It's badass. Yeah.
Dude, it's just in a complete effort to just hack as much time as humanly possible while somehow still outputting a piece that people are like, yeah, okay, I'm into that. That's the reaction I'm going for. Somebody's like, oh, okay, like if that's it, I nailed it, because I try to paint as fast as possible. You know what I mean? Like I try to cut every corner I can. Like I love breaking that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, here's the rules. I'm like, nah, fuck that rule. Let's do it this way. But it's like, dude, it all comes from just using products to let it carry, like, dude, that's what I say all the time on my stream. I'm like, let your paints and your tools carry the weight. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I don't know. That's what I'm all about. Like, so I don't need a good, perfect blend because I use Streak and Grime as a filter, right? So like I use it as an enamel wash that covers everything. So it kind of helps push like my blends for me. So I don't have to really think about it. It just kind of happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's obviously not perfect, but it really helps push that blend and do the work for me. And it's like, dude, why wouldn't you like if you're not using tools that make painting easier, get new tools.
Yeah. Right. If your tools are actually making it harder and less fun, fucking get new tools.
Yeah. Get new tools.
Yeah.
And like I think Streak and Grime is the most effective tool in the game right now because it's like literally it's like, hey, let me do all of this hard work for you. And let me help you with your blends that you just blasted through that you didn't really try on. Let me help you with all the roughness. Let me help pull all your tones together. It's so busted.
Yeah,
it's so busted how strong it is in the painting meta. I love it. I think it's the best tool we have.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that like we're as the miniature painters are just now getting to this and all the scale modelers are like, you fucking noobs. They've been doing it for 40 years.
I know. We need to figure out what the scale modelers are using now because they're ahead of the meta. We got to figure out what they're working on in this exact moment.
They're getting back to the basics. They're just like they're doing Gundam kits without anything. They're just snipping them and putting them together.
They're doing heavy metal style painting. They're just edge highlighting everything.
That would be absolutely amazing.
Do I have the now greenish Streak and Grime? No, I bought a bunch of the old Streak and Grime before. Like, I'm such a hobby hoarder. And so, like, when I use a product I like, I'll order like 5 of it immediately. And so the first time I used Streak and Grime, I was like, cool, I'm buying all of this shit. And I bought all of it. And then they changed the recipe. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm sitting on a pile of OG Streak and Grime. If you want it, I'll sell it to you for an absurd markup.
I have Originals Testers Dull Coat. I have like 5 cans of it. If any of you need it, you let me know. I need to put my kids through college. Dude. Oh no, my sword broke. Man.
Pimping out old school discontinued hobby products is the new drug dealing.
Straight up.
Oh my god, bro. That's hilarious. I have to put away some of my paints on my paint rack or else it's gonna drive me crazy. Do you ever just get like I'm like everything has its place? Have we talked about this before? Is this a topic we've discussed?
I don't think it is.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so there's literally I think it's called mise en place, and it's a French term for everything has a place. It's generally in like cuisine cooking. But it's this idea that every kitchen should be beautifully organized and you should know where every tool is, where all your ingredients are, so that you could cook and prepare food faster and better.
Sure.
Dude, I totally do the same thing with painting. Like, and when things are out of their place, like I know where every single tool is on my tool rack. Like, you know what I mean? And like all that's just from sitting here every day for, painting, streaming every morning, sitting here for my actual job right now, and then painting, if I can in the evening or whatever. But like, dude, having everything, knowing exactly where it goes. When I have shit on my desk, I'm like, what are you doing? You're out of place. Like, what's happening right now? It freaks me out.
I'm super, super, super right brained. And so I work really good in piles. So
Okay.
I clean up my desk about once a month, and that's it.
Yeah. Dude, it's interesting that it works so different for everyone. Like there is no right or wrong way to, you know what I mean? Like the deeper everybody gets into this, the more that we're all like, what are we even doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's constantly trying to do it. It's crazy.
Oh, I love how like even though like so many of us are so different, so many of us are exactly the fucking same.
Bro, same brain is so real.
Yeah.
Like same brain to a degree, but like I mean, me and you same brain hard. And like the only other person I bumped into that I same brain as much as is Orky. Dude.
Yeah.
She's mega same brain, dude. Like, because we've chatted a lot more and gotten to know each other more over the last like few weeks. Ever since my mods just sent me there, they're like, "You need to go watch this chick. She's the same human as you. It's fucking weird. Go watch her right now." And I was like, "Okay, okay, okay, okay."
She's
And
Scottish, right?
she's British. She's I
British,
think from
okay.
like Yorkshire or something.
Okay.
I don't know. Very same brain, dude. It freaks me out
Fuck.
sometimes. Freaks
damn
me out.
Broke my
But
sword
it's
again.
it's always crazy talking to people who are so closely same brained. But then even still, like me and you are a little different on certain things, on a lot of things. But on the important stuff, I think we're super same brained on.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and you know, like I don't want that. You know, like the one criticism that I thought was really funny from when Trapped Under Plastic did their like end of the year, you know, asking people, and they're like, you know, you guys agree on too much shit. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking the right way to do it. You know, like having people agree on things is so much better than like being triggered
Yeah.
and like mad at each other. Yeah, Nalindi, I
Yeah.
believe, is Welsh. Yeah. Oprah Smash, I love the Turbo Dork paints. If you are thinking about getting them, I highly recommend it. I have a bunch of them now. I've painted some Gundams with them. Pretty fucking cool. I'm actually going to use them on these guys. So remember the movie The Labyrinth, how everything is really sparkly? Like, I'm totally going to do that with these, because if they're magical creatures that have been grown from the ground, they need to have some fucking like snails, slug shit all over them, and they need to sparkle.
100%. Yo, Brush is saying that he's same brain with Zambies. I think that's so important to have like a same brain partner. You know what I mean? Like to have somebody that you can just same brain out with super transparently. Like having that really close same content creation style friend is so clutch. It is so important to have those conversations. I love that people are like finding their same brains. I think that's so dope.
Yeah. And here we are. Zambies has entered the murder basement.
Yes. Speaking of. I heard my name.
What's up?
That's hilarious. Dude, I love hearing that. Like that stuff's so clutch. I think that's super important to have people who are very, very, very same brain. Like you hear people talking about like who you surround yourself in, or like the circles you surround yourself in is super important. That's like, it's insane. It's so insanely true.
Yeah.
It's like the older you get, the more true it gets. And you're like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like the people that are closest to you, you start doing the same thing and like you grow together. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I love hearing that people are like finding their same brain streamer.
Yeah, it makes me really happy. I'm glad that that is the kind of the norm that this Twitch thing has brought. And it's so hard to explain to a YouTube crowd that like, no, what you guys miss on YouTube is the fucking community that sits here in Twitch, and that is unbelievable. You know, I mean, like it's if it's good enough for Scott to like where the option is make less money but hang out on Twitch where there's a community, or make more money and hang out on YouTube, and he picks Twitch, like that speaks volumes.
That should tell you all you need to know about it. For reals. I with all this crazy stuff that's like unfolded, like with the Mango Smasher story, like the Mango Smasher story has been crazy because like Mango Smasher has been one of my regulars, and like so that's just fucking crazy in general.
Yeah, it's really cool.
How much it's popping the space from YouTube. The YouTube, I'm getting people who are like, hey, I just came over from YouTube. I didn't even know miniature painting was a community on Twitch, and this is so cool that I can talk to you guys and interact with you. And I'm like, yeah, this is where miniature painting community really exists right now, in my opinion, is the community lives on. Like, if you really want to build family and community with your following, Twitch is where you do it right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy. It's so powerful. But it's been crazy to see an influx of new people just because of that one event between Wargaming or Mini Wargaming Dave and Mango Smasher. Single event has elevated our whole hobby space. It's fucking crazy.
Dude,
it's so crazy. So much, buddy. Just that one thing.
Yeah. Well, and I messaged Mango because like, so Mango's whole thing is they like doing commission miniature painting for people for free as their way to give back. That's like that's the story. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, all I'm seeing is like the fucking like sunk cost fallacy of trying to pay back to like this new growth. And I messaged him, I was like, hey, what you're going through right now is so cool, and like I'm so happy for you. don't feel like you need to give back to the community to meet this, because people are here for you, and
Yep.
that's okay. It is okay to be there, because you will be chasing
Yep.
that the rest of your life if you think you need to pay that back. And
100%.
and I don't want to see your burnout. I think that would be really, really an unfortunate side effect of something so good. Like,
I completely agree.
So I hope they take
I
that
was
to heart.
I was in a charity multi-stream yesterday with Mango. It was us and the streamer Rhino, Dr. Rhino.
Sure,
We're all on
I
at the
dig
same
Dr.
time
Rhino.
having
Sure.
chat. And I kept telling Mango the same thing. And Mango's like, I'm just giving it back to Twitch. I'm just giving it back. And I'm like, you have to understand that the more that you give back, the more you're going to receive. Like,
Yeah.
your generosity is what's driving your explosion right now. And we're just going to keep giving it back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just so inspired by her story and everything that's happened. Like, it's just crazy. You know, it's crazy how much one little tiny thing can completely change the game.
Yeah.
And it is, right? Like, the Twitch meta for mini painting is literally different. It will be different tomorrow because of what happened in this last week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Our content creation space has literally just changed.
Yeah.
And that's why I told Mango, I was like, everything just changed. And like, as much as you're trying to develop and grow and you want to give everything back to the community, people are going to keep pumping this back into you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Get ready.
Like, you're a balloon and you're elevating the entire community, and the entire community wants to keep putting helium in your balloon. Like, they love you.
Yeah.
And so just let it happen. Like, please let this happen. Like, you deserve this. And it was a really, really, really good chat. But it was one of the heaviest streams I've ever been on. Like, heaviest like vibes. It was the heaviest conversation I've been directly in the middle of in this hobby, hands down. That's awesome. Was really heavy. But it was really inspiring. I was like, you know, with all this generosity, like Mango was telling all these great stories about spending more time with her daughter, you know, with some of the money that's coming in and like all this stuff. And so it was super inspiring. It was just a really great story. The whole thing is incredible. And like, it is deserving all the attention that it's getting, but it's like, it's absolutely insane how much an isolated event essentially can change everything for us. And I'm seeing a bigger influx from YouTube than I have ever seen in 1 week. People are showing up. They're like, what up? I'm just here from YouTube. I just found Twitch out that there's miniature painters over here. What's up? And I'm
what's
like,
up? Yeah. What are we doing?
What is happening? Like, it's getting flooded and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's badass. And that's what this space needs a lot more of, especially if we're ever going to get to a point where, there's more people actually making good livings off of doing this. You know, if that is a future that we all want to see, we need more people here. And stories like that fucking feel so good to be a part of. And you know, my fear is that the imposter syndrome will take over, and we'll send them in like a shame spiral for all the attention that they've got. I don't want that to happen. That's not that's not what this is about. This is about something totally different.
Yep. I see the exact same. That was what I was afraid of too. So I really tried to have that conversation with her yesterday to be like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, need to start changing the way that you're talking and thinking about this one topic immediately. And
right now.
We talked through a lot of stuff. I was like, cause she was like, hey, like cause I was like, hey, you know, like you should consider actually doing a Patreon page. Like, I think people would love to get on this and support you to support what you want to support, because now we know what you're doing with the money that's coming in, and we want to give you even more of it.
Absolutely.
And she was like, oh, I just feel so guilty. I can't do it. I was like, make it transparent. Say exactly how many Patreons you have, tell exactly how much money you're getting every month, and say exactly where it's going. And people will probably put in even more money.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I had that exact same conversation. I was like, please do not ever think that this is like, you totally deserve all of this pop that's happening.
This
like,
isn't
just that
fucking
one
charity.
Story
We're here. And you're a part of this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, so own it and have fun in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, it's insane how I think it's a really wholesome example of how small our community is.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, this one event will change everybody's stream next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
In some way. And it's so wholesome and cool that we have this tiny micro community, and the tiniest shifts in the wind change how we all sail. You know what I mean? The tiniest things can impact everybody's week. And we're all so lucky that we're still in a content space that's this small and this wholesome, and you know
Well,
what I mean?
and
And we can still
flexible. The
capitalize
fact that
and
we can
do good
still
stuff. Yeah.
change it, you know, like it would suck if we were here and we're just fucking fighting against like the tide, but we aren't. Like we are
Yeah.
just always like we're one fucking, you know, like stumble thing away from being like a worldwide phenomenon, you know, like miniature painting is for everybody, you know, with D&D being as popular as it is right now. The fact that this
Mhm.
place isn't bigger is shocking. So
Mhm.
oh, Richard is right. Hey, everybody, if you don't know, I've been all through the month of February, I've been doing giveaways. Today is special. We're giving away a starter to First Blood of the skirmish version of Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings. So here in a couple minutes, we'll get that started up. Unfortunately, the giveaway only works on Twitch. So if you're watching on YouTube and you want a piece of this, come on over. If you're watching on Facebook and you want a piece of this, come on over to Twitch. You've got 5 minutes to get your account set up and get in chat and get ready to win a badass game. And if you look in the credits of First Blood, you'll notice that I am credited for helping develop the game rules, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Brush has a really good point. This is why I'm all about shouting people out, because we grow together, not competing with each other. Like a part of, so yesterday, like I'll just be completely transparent. I was like not in a great headspace after that chat that I was a part of with Rhino and Mango, because
Sure.
it was just so heavy for me. That
Sure.
was such a heavy chat to just be directly in the middle of.
Yeah.
And it made me take a huge step back and think, am I doing the right thing on Twitch right now? Like, what could I be doing better? How could I help grow the community even better? And how do I help propel the community as much as these other people are? Because it's so inspiring to literally sit between Mango and Rhino, who are literally like, Mango's basically giving everything back. Rhino's literally streaming to make money for actual rhino conservation.
Yeah, it's
And like
amazing.
to be sitting in between them, I was like, holy shit, like I need to be doing a better job at Twitch and like how I'm personally interacting and how I like I was like, I need, like, I was so inspired by the room. I instantly in that stream just dumped all of my Twitch earnings for the month back into Twitch. I mean, like while I was in the multi with them, I was like,
Aw.
I'm getting rid of all my income from Twitch right now. I'm putting it all right back into like, it just hit me. I was like, oh my God, I need to like take a step back and think about like what I need to do to provide value back to this platform that provides so much value to me.
Dude,
And like that
you
was
gave
a
us the
big
doinks,
takeaway for
man.
me from
You
that.
gave us the doinks. Don't ever think that you haven't done anything important here.
I know, I know, but like it's just like how I guess it's like I thought like what could I do even more? I guess. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
not that I don't do anything. It was more just like how can I help propel this further? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like I really was just thinking about it all day. I was like, what can I do to like help my space? And like it's not an overnight thing, right? It doesn't flip, but it's like these kinds of thoughts are like important as a creator for me to be like, what can I continue to do? Like, I'm starting to see what other people are doing with what they're giving. I'm like, how can I, give back and help propel this space as much as everybody else? And so it's
Sure.
that to me was like, it wasn't like, it was just a heavy thing to sit there and be a part of and not want to immediately like jump out and take action and be a part of, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
just jump on and be like, what can we do? Like what can we do to like grow this space and all that stuff. So it was just wild.
Dude,
Brush, I can't do exactly that, but I try as much as possible, as much charity as I can. I love that. Yeah.
it's awesome, you know, and especially, you know, feeling that you know, but like, you know, the only thing that I can say is like when it'll make sense when it makes sense to do it, you know, like the one thing that I always hate is when I feel like a charity thing is being pushed as like a performative aspect of content creation. Like I want it to be really genuine and altruistic. It makes me feel you know, the one thing I don't want to do is see a bunch of people just be like, well, and this week I'm doing this thing and this week I'm doing that thing. And while I love charity, like also like, you know, if you aren't that all the time, you know, it'll burn you out. It'll leave you feeling hollow, because then you'll be like, how come I couldn't give more? And you know, like, so all of these things, you just have to be really selective and understand, you know, how you handle it, and not try to you know, force a scenario that may not be as close as you want it to be to happen. So You and Brush, that's fucking awesome that you developed, raised $1,800 for any city kids. That's fucking
Yeah, that's
badass.
insane. Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
I watched a little bit of that. It's
I don't
great
have a whole
cause.
lot of money to throw around and to play with, and so like the way that I do my things like in my life, like I make a lot of waste in a picture frame shop. So like I donate like all of the scraps to artists and schools when they need stuff, and to anything like that, instead of like getting them to the point where like they sit around and get damaged and get thrown away. I support our local NPR affiliate to keep free radio on and so we can keep on having good content as a community. But like as far as like picking like charities, there's like too many of them. Like I want to fucking support them all. And so like
Yeah.
I look at the things that enrich my life, and that I instantly know that I can help, and that's where I go at it. I come at it from an angle of like, well, what makes sense? What is the thing that I do? And
Yeah.
and that has been a really amazing thing. I don't ask for anything from these people. Like the NPR people are always trying to like schmooze me, and like because like we literally don't ask for anything extra, and they're like, literally everybody who donates to us wants something back from it. I'm like, I don't. I don't at all. Like I want you guys to keep on making fucking great radio and great content that keeps me entertained and keeps me informed. Like that's what I need. I need you guys to keep on being you. And if you got an extra symphony ticket for me here or there, maybe I'll make it work. But I'm not gonna ask for that shit at all.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean,
Zambies, you can mention whatever you want to mention. 100%. You can promote whatever you want.
Go nuts.
Go nuts.
Go nuts.
Zambies, if you guys don't know Zambies, you're missing out. But like Zambies is
you're done buggered up.
Yeah, you're done fuckered up. What's happening right now is we have the Sauce, we have Zambies, we have Eenie Meenies, we have MinMax. They're probably the people that I talk to the most about all this stuff, and so it's as like you guys know you guys know what's going on. Prince Knucklehead, all of our links are shut off, and I fucking don't know how to get them to work, so I'm really sorry. So if you want to share a link, you're best off doing that in the Discord. I'm really sorry about that.
Dude, pro streaming, dude, I do the same thing. I fuck up technology stuff all the time on my stream, and I'm like, how do I fix this?
Yeah. I haven't
what
been
did
able
I just
to get it
do?
right.
John Ninas, I'm waiting with bated breath.
That's right. That's right. We're all here for it. And that's the thing. Like that, anytime anybody's like, I don't know. There's only been a couple things where I've seen the miniature painting community kind of rebel against like the thing that people are trying to raise money on, but that's like, few and far between. So like, I love how we all want to support and help out. Anzig, my friend, what's going on? Hey, speaking of MinMax, now she's here. How are you doing? How's your new glasses working?
Whoop de whoop.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Brewbaka thing. If you guys haven't been following that, that is one of the saddest things I have heard in a long time. Fuck. Like this hobby, you realize that like, we as a community, we get to know each other, and then you get to know these families and these people, and all of a sudden tragedy strikes like that. It's fucking just damaging how intense these stories change from being like wholesome to fucking heartbreaking.
So crazy. It's just so small. It's such a tight community here, man. It's so crazy. And like, I'm still fucking new here still. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like I don't even know half of these people that well. Like a lot of the regular streamers, like I'm still emerging, like I'm still growing, like I'm so fucking new in the grand scheme of things. And like even I feel so sucked into this community. I can't imagine like how community feeling everybody who's been in like the real veterans of this feel.
Oh yeah.
But it's such a community, man. It's so small. Everything hits so hard here.
What's going on, Christopher? Hey, it's 2:03. We're gonna get this giveaway going here really quick. So things might
Prizes.
things might get weird. Hold on one second. I don't know how this is gonna work. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh shit! I accidentally turned on Cheeto Box. No, close.
You 3D printing, bro?
Yeah, I've got some shit. I don't know how to use it, and I kind of hate it. Yes, I want to quit, but I have one.
3D printing is hard.
Yeah, it is.
3D printing is kind of complicated.
Rajman, how you doing, man? Thanks you so much for the follow. Okay, things are gonna get weird. I'm really sorry. I'm really fucking sorry. This is gonna get weird.
I love it. Get it as weird as possible. I'm into it.
Actually, maybe I can open a second one. Maybe, yeah. Open new window. Oh, yeah.
How weird do you want it to get? Do you want to hear what I program my Alexa to call me? How weird do you want to get right now? Because I can get shit weird too.
Let's get fucking weird as hell.
Oh,
what the fuck?
Cool.
Thank you so much, Prince Knucklehead. Yeah, I've seen Brewbach in a bunch of chats, and he's always seemed super sweet. All right, YouTubers, Facebook followers, wherever you're at, head on over to Twitch. We're getting this giveaway going right now.
Are you beatboxing with your mouth? What are those sounds?
Yeah, I'm beatboxing. I'm good at it. haven't you ever heard me beatbox?
Oh my god!
I'm actually horrible at it. All right, giveaways going. We're doing 15 minutes. Get in here! ! Giveaway on Twitch. Win yourself some Conquest First Blood starters. It'll be really fun. And Rajman, we are painting Conquest models in my Turnip 28. We're doing it.
Min Max, that is so true. So true. What a good point. So true.
I'm beatboxing. Haven't you ever heard someone beatbox?
Big true.
Fucking nailed it. Get in there. Get them giveaways. Get them giveaways. Comes with a bunch of models and a book that I helped make better. I can't say that I helped write it, but have you ever done any like rule things like that where they like give you advanced rules and you have to like try to help make them better, play testing shit?
I've never done playtesting. No. I am very bad so I've played enough 40K to know that I'm god awful at interpreting what the rules are supposed to be. So probably having me on a playtest team would either be a really good addition to the team or really bad. I don't imagine it anywhere in between. It would probably be just me giving really bad advice about how the game should work, and not understanding what they're trying to accomplish.
Sure.
So yeah, I've never done any beta game testing.
It's I love doing like alpha beta stuff. I've helped a buddy here for the last 3 or 4 years work on a board game, and I realized really quick that people are like, oh yeah, this is good. I'm like, what's good about this? Like if you're just telling somebody that something's good, it's not getting better. That's not what they fucking want to hear. They want to hear what's wrong. They want to hear what you like. They want to hear what you don't like. And so it made me start being extremely analytic about the time that I have, especially during doing wargaming. Wargaming's super fucking boring. It's just it is, and it's edging, yeah. And as you and I have said, if you're not coming to like stomp someone's fucking face into the dirt, it's like, what the fuck are you even doing here?
I know. I completely agree.
No one has ever heard of the published games you've play tested. Yeah, right. Well, and that's the thing. Like that's the unfortunate truth is that like all this effort goes into it, and half the time, they never see the light of day, or very few people even play them. So like, I think it makes people be a little laxed on making the game better. And after reading the first pass of the rules, and seeing what people were like, this is the greatest thing ever. This is this is that. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this fucking sucks. This sucks.
Yeah.
Like, let's make it better. And I was like, what are we trying to make? Because if you're wanting to, I was like, you basically made the same game, just you know, instead of working as a rank and flank game, it's just you know, like you know, small, you know, units moving. You just made Age of Sigmar essentially. And I was like, what the fucking point is that? Age of Sigmar already exists.
Yeah, it's yeah, if you're a playtester, one of your jobs is to try and break it. That's what I would probably be doing on accident. I would just be really misinterpreting the rules, and I'd be like, well, then this can do this. And they'd be like, no, it can't. And I'm like, well, I guess I don't understand your words. I feel like that's how every game of 40K, though, is anyways, where everybody's like, this is how this works. And they're like, no, it's not, there's not a comma right there. So that's not how it works. It works like this instead. And you're like, well, did they mean to not have the comma? Like, dude, how the fuck can you play test shit anymore? Like, how can you even possibly have any idea how these games are supposed to be played anymore? It's so complicated.
Especially something
and the
like
fact that there's
40K.
a new set of rules. Oh my God. There's new rules like every 10 minutes, it feels like, in the game.
Yeah.
Nothing's getting vetted. Everything's just getting broken. There's
16 factions.
There's no play testing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah,
it's
brutal.
crazy.
I throw a lot of shade at GW, but the real truth is I would hate to be in their fucking spot. They're the biggest, you know, shoes in the fucking house, but they have, you know, like, and everybody's like relying on them to make their game better, and you know, like, it just isn't always the case. Sometimes they break it, and sometimes they have to fucking fix it later on. It's just, that's where the cost of the game starts like bugging me. I'm like, okay, like if we're FAQing everything fucking 2 weeks later, how about this? You take another 2 weeks, you fucking play test it and print it right the first time. Yeah.
And then it gets into the real sketchy debate about like, are they doing this on purpose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's where it always ends up. The more you think about it, the more you're like, there's no way this is not intentional. Like,
right.
I've gone through this thought circle so many times, and I always end on it's on purpose. And like, I just don't even know what else to say about it at this point. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I feel the same. I rag on GW hard, but like at the same time, you know, they've got, I get their intention. I understand the roadblocks they're dealing with, but then on the same circle, I always end up at $1 billion corporation. And I have a hard time saying $1 billion corporation does not have X needed to accomplish task at hand, which is proper playtesting.
Like, Jez Goodwin doesn't need another castle.
Yeah. Every time I do that thought circle and I'm like, how did we get here? I always end in either wasn't play tested or it's on purpose.
Yeah.
And I keep getting stuck there. It's crazy to me. So yeah, I can't even imagine beta testing games.
There's no way. It's fucking brutal, but it's fun, man. I like it. I
completely agree.
I like getting into it. I like trying to figure out what the designer wanted to do and working directly with the designer. And I'm asking them the rules, and I'm like, hey, I was like, you know, when you say skirmish, people are thinking skirmish is like 12 models now, not 30 models. Yeah. They're like, but skirmish used to be. I was like, I don't give a fuck what skirmish used to be. Kill Team changed it. Fucking Warcry changed it, so we need to look at that. Like, so like we changed a lot of things, and while I'm never going to be the math hammer guy. I'm never going to crunch those numbers. I literally don't give a shit. I play by the rule of cool. I'm like, oh yeah, this thing looks badass, so yeah, I'll play this.
Bring it.
But I understand the way a game should flow, and you know, respecting the player's time, because that's the one thing that I think that Warhammer doesn't do very well is respect the player's time. And that's where I think Conquest really wins, is they like really respect your time. They love that you're here, and they want to celebrate you being here. So for me, it works. Exclamation point giveaway to get in on some Conquest if you haven't already done it. 7 minutes left.
I've not played it. To be honest, I don't know if I've ever even honestly seen Conquest miniatures. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm looking.
Dude, if you've been watching me all month, you've been seeing me do Conquest miniatures.
Oh, these are Conquest.
It's from the Corn Planet.
Conquest, dude, that's the next edition. That's the next edition of the Turn Up Challenge.
Oh my God, everything's made of corn. It's like that fucking Rick and Morty episode where they end up at the corn planet. Like, everything's on a cob. It's a cob planet.
Oh my God. That is. Can you imagine a whole planet made of corn though? By the way, like depending on how close it was to the sun, it would just turn into popcorn, like at
Popcorn,
any given moment.
dude. I had so much
Just
popcorn last night. Movie theater popcorn is so
love
fucking good.
popcorn,
Oh my god,
dude.
so
Yeah.
good.
Okay. So your homie just rented out a whole goddamn theater.
Yeah, $100,
That happened?
man. $100.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You put
That's
6
legit.
people in a huge fucking auditorium and space them out, and then you all just like talk and laugh through the whole movie. It's fucking badass.
Best.
I'm like looking up,
Dude.
like, where do I know this actor from? And they're like, Twin Peaks. I'm like, yeah, but like I know him from somewhere else. We're like, oh yeah, antiviral. Got it.
Yeah.
Give me
It's-
a bucket
it's-
of butter. Butter.
Yes.
Give me some butter.
So good. Dude, I haven't been to a movie theater since the last Star Wars. So when was that? 14 months ago or something like that? God, that's crazy, dude.
Okay, maybe Star
That's
Wars
so
was the last
crazy.
one that I saw in the theater because I did see that. Just imagine.
Do you have
paying
any
a
hot
bunch of-
takes on it? My hot take for the last Star Wars, it was actually good. Like, I actually really liked it. I was like, this
Yeah.
is pretty good.
I mean, like, I like all those movies. It's about fucking space wizards. Like, you guys all need to like take it less seriously. They have
Space
fucking
wizards with
light
space
wands
boards.
and space wizards and people who wear dumb helmets all the time that make no sense.
Yeah, I think
you
it's
know,
solid.
I love Star Wars for what it is. And I have always just been a real realist about it. And people who
Yeah.
like take it super seriously, I'm like, you guys should have more fun with this thing. Like-
let the tethers off a little bit. Just enjoy and relax and have fun.
Yeah,
Laugh
just
at
lean
it.
into it. It's fucking fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
movie was
The-
fucking like. Here's the hot take: the first movie is horribly sexist and fucking kind of garbage, but yet it's revered as one of the best sci-fi epics ever made. So like, like there's one scene where like Han Solo's sitting there and he's like, "Listen here, sister." He's like talking down to fucking Leia. And you're just like, this scene didn't need to be in there, but they fucking chose to leave it in there.
Today they chose violence. Yeah, I know. It's fucking crazy sometimes, like to see what actually makes like rewatching. It's always so fascinating to like rewatch old movies. You're like, wow, this was super duper not okay now. Like,
Yeah,
it's
right?
so crazy how much has changed and how many people's opinions have changed. Where it's like, this used to be totally okay to goof on, and now it's like, whoa, what is
Whoa.
happening in
Right.
this movie right now? What are you guys talking about? This is very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it's
and-
crazy.
beyond the problematic aspects of it, and the budding incest story that was happening there. There is this thing that happened in like the bad guy of the movie, Vader, was only in the movie for 10 minutes. That's it. He had 10 minutes of screen time, but yet he is like one of the biggest bad guys of all time. And
Is
you're
that
like,
science?
yeah,
Does
like,
he really only have 10 minutes of screen time? Darth
10
Vader's on screen for 10 minutes?
it's like just shy of 11 minutes. There's a group trying to get Grease banned. Oh yeah, Grease, horribly sexist.
Yeah. Dude, it's so crazy. Like, it's so interesting how, you know what I mean? Like, stuff that's totally like, this is totally weird now, but it was totally fine. It's just, like, I always wonder, like, what's that going to be like in 10 years?
Yeah,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, what's going to happen in 10 years from now? Like, what's going to be the taboo thing then? That'll be crazy.
yeah. Oh,
It's just keep changing, you know?
yeah, and as it should. I mean, like we can't be too idle, otherwise, we never progress. And
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of like moving out of the era when like gay people couldn't be the leading role, and it's just like
Yeah.
women couldn't be the main protagonist in a fucking epic. Like I'm the fact that we're starting to get more people of color involved is like great. All these things are great,
Yep.
and anybody who can't get into that needs to fucking wake up, because the world
Yep.
times have changed. Not times are
Yep.
a changing. Times have changed. You are already
Yeah, it
behind
already-
if you're just now figuring it out.
Yeah, you missed the start of the school bell. You're really late, and
You're
now it's
really
awkward when
fucking
you walk
late,
into
yeah.
the room.
You're still in fucking
Ugh.
rudimentary math, and we're in fucking calculus now, so get caught up. 2 minutes left. Exclamation point giveaway on Twitch if you want to win some conquest models.
Explanation point. Oh man.
All right.
So, what do you think is going to happen with your next podcast episode? Are you staging content anymore, or are you just kind of current right now?
I just recorded an episode with Gavin Norman. If any of you guys, I would love to. What was that? Aw, Brushfire, thank you so much for hosting. If my favorite Dungeons and Dragons rule set besides Mork Borg is Old School Essentials, which is
Mhm.
like a rebirth of the BX versions of Dungeons and Dragons. I interviewed the guy who wrote that and released it, and so that'll come out in 2 weeks, and I'm like fucking stoked because he gave me the way back in, and I'm not used to that, so
Yeah. Word. I'm digging it.
all right.
That stage content life.
Yeah, I mean, like, so here's what really happened. Like, and I'm 100% honest with you people. I am get grumpy during Christmas, so I knew I needed to have episodes to make me through November and December.
Yep.
And so I did. I had 8 weeks of episodes lined up, and I took a fucking 2-month break at the end of the year. And I really had a lot of fun not doing the podcast. I had fun working on hobby stuff and just doing like mental health care shit. And when I came back to getting back into the episode, like Brush for Hire was the first episode back, and I loved it. I was so glad that I got to sit down and talk with Brush. But by the time I was done with that, I was like exhausted and trying to edit and get it back to the point where like I'm making content again. I was so out of practice and so out of the rhythm that I was like, weekly content like this is gonna fucking kill me. I'm gonna make mistakes, and I don't want to do that. So I needed to.
Dude, you know what my favorite part about the Devin Nash 80/20 list that is buzzing around is the last question on like the top section here. Let me pull it up. It's so fascinating. Exactly how it's worded makes me just think so much. Okay, in the 80/20 template, right? Followed by all these like, what is 20% of the activities people that are producing 80% of my problems? After a bunch of questions like this, it says, what has had the greatest positive and negative emotional impact on my life in the last month? I think that's so powerful after just like trying to basically math out your productivity to then take a step back and be like, yo, what is helping with my emotional impact? Like, what is impacting my emotions? When you're like taking a step back to talk about productivity and stuff, to still force that into your thoughts is super important. That's my favorite thing about his 80/20 template. Like this 80/20 template has been blowing my mind since I got my hands on it, like 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's something I've talked about a million times, but just the way that he's written out the questions, fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Fascinating. And that one question to be like, hey, what's emotionally interacting with my life right now? Just highlights how important that is in the world around you. It's crazy.
And it's so sad to think how many people don't think about that. They do the same thing over and over again. And even though you might be having growth in something, it may not be good, or you're having no growth and it's still not good. So it's like, let's be good. Let's treat each other nice.
Dude, it's crazy.
And actually be cozy with asking those questions. Okay, let's pick a winner here. Oh, holy shit, Signarly. You are the winner.
Sig!
Fucking get your Grim Doink on. Check that out.
Sig.
Congratulations, friend. If you haven't been following his Instagram, he takes Grimdark to the next fucking level.
I have. I started following Signarly. It's sick.
It's fucking great. Good stuff. I love those big old fucking mechs. It's so good. It's so good.
Yep.
I half expected Oprah Smash because when we were doing all my testers and things like that, it didn't matter how many people were entered in. Oprah Smash kept on winning. So
that's hilarious.
Congratulations, Sig. What you'll need to do, I'll send you a link that you'll need to make an account with the Conquest store, and I will send your you need to send me your email, and I'll give that to my contact there, and they'll contact you and get you the models that you want, man. So thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you everybody for like actually like paying attention to this big stupid ass project that I've been doing all month. Like I know that
Love
it's
it.
a little self indulgent, but I've really had a lot of fun doing this. And like I said, even though I didn't finish it, I feel like I'm still victorious.
I feel the exact same with mine. I
Hell yeah.
definitely did not quite beat mine, but I feel pretty good about what I got done.
Yeah. Dude, and that's what it's all about. You learn some
Yep.
stuff. You had a good time.
Yep. You win some, you lose some.
Yep. And you know, I'm all right. I don't mind like not finishing projects.
Yeah,
I've
I
I've
agree.
I have many of them that are unfinished. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. Do you know who Ty Lopez is? The Facebook meme guy, the like how to be a millionaire advisor that was all over Facebook for a while, but he would
Is
just basically be like, knowledge, knowledge, books, knowledge. That was like always the meme. And
is
like that's what I always think. I'm always like, dude, you could lose it so much shit, but if you walk away learning something, like you secretly won. And
yeah.
like there's so much of that in painting, so much more than anywhere else that I've encountered, where it's like you could lose all day and still win at painting, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Let's see here. Um the now the project's over. Do I have some footage vaults that I'm going to drop soon? I have no idea what I'm going to do. I don't really have much extra footage than what you've seen. You know, the YouTube stuff. So I'm probably going to put like a big post mortem on this and talk about it and do like a compilation of all the days so everybody can watch it if they want to see it progress. But you know, as far as me doing like big YouTube content, I just don't think that that's me. As much as I would like to be more prevalent there, like I don't think YouTube is the space for me in the way that it is for other people. I think I'm streaming, I'm doing live streaming there because I honestly think that Twitch has a fucking expiration date in the future, and so I'm prepping myself for when that happens to have a community here. But you know, I don't know if me doing heavily edited content for YouTube is going to be you know, an actual future for me.
I mean, that's huge. I'm outsourcing my video editing.
Are you?
I'm done with it. Yep. I'm basically going to I'm going to probably split off a large chunk of my Twitch money every month to pay an editor,
Yeah.
because it's just not like, and I mean, I know I messaged you about this thought the other day too. I was like, why would I pay, or like why would I edit my videos if I suck at video editing when somebody's willing to pay me money for my time as a painter? So like
Right.
why wouldn't I just focus on where I'm bringing value and then use that money to pay for something else, right? Like if you have 5 hours in the day, would you rather spend that 5 hours continuing to improve at something you're good at, or spend time on something that you're learning? If you're making enough money to be able to pay somebody to do that video editing for you, I think I kind of got my brain broken thinking about this the other day. I was like, wait, I should hire a video editor, because it's a waste of my time, I think, to edit my own videos, because I have basically infinite commissions lined up. Like at
Yeah.
any point in time on Instagram, I could just say my commissions are open and I would be booked,
Yeah.
period. And so I am in a pretty unique space where why would I not continue to focus on what I do and where I bring value, which is painting? I don't bring value editing video. And that's what helped me like power through that thought camp, is like ultimately success follows value. And if you can bring value to a space, success will follow you there. Right. And so
Right.
basically, I was like, my value is in painting, right? That's what's helped me grow. That's been what I've been successful at, is painting, not video editing. I can edit a video, but it's long and it's a grind for me. I'm not as good at editing video as I'm at painting, flat out. So I basically got to this place where I was like, I could just paint in the afternoons and use my commission money from painting in the afternoons to fund video editing. So then I'm basically improving my painting while outsourcing the video editing to somebody who's good at it. And it's a win-win for both of us, in my opinion. Like, obviously, if you actually need commission money to pay your bills, this might not be like great advice for you. If you're using
Right.
stuff to like eat and pay rent and stuff with commission money, great. Like do that. You have to do that. Like keep doing that. But if you have extra money from commissions and you're a content creator, I think it's actually secretly better to hire a video editor. Like this idea hit my brain like a week ago and I'm like, Like, I can't stop thinking about it now. I'm like, oh my God, I need to outsource this. I think it's a
Yeah.
waste for me to do it. Even though it costs money, I could still make money to pay for it. So it's
Right.
really just a trade-off of time. It was
I
big brain the other day.
I would love for that to be the case for me. Unfortunately, it is not. You know, the extra money made actually really does help my life out quite a bit right now. So maybe in the future, and that's a whole nother thing. You know, this next step of reevaluating where I'm at with my podcast, with the content creation. You know, where my growth is at. You know, trying to be better to myself and my family, and I sometimes you gotta ask the hard questions before it all makes sense.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Nevs, best advice I give you as a small business owner, 15 years, pay the people that are good to do what you are not. Yeah, that like really, I mean, that sums it up perfectly. Like really that thought camp hit me the other day and I was like, fuck, I need to hire a video editor.
It's fucking awesome. Well, I'm glad that you had that.
Yeah, it was big brain.
Yeah, like it always sucks when it feels like you're just going against the grain the entire time. You're like, why am I even here?
Right. And like that's how I feel about video editing. I am so clumsy with editing software. I can do it, but I feel very proficient with a paintbrush. You know what I mean? I'm not the best painter in the world. I just can get shit done and people will pay me for my time. And that's because that's like the value thing, man. I think some of my thoughts too, and maybe this will like help in your search on where to go with the podcast. Just think about where your value exists and like lean into that. That's been another like big exercise that I've been doing lately is like, where is my value the strongest? Because that's where you'll find the most success. And like that keeps that thought's just like haunting me lately. I'm like, oh my God, I got to keep leaning into where people find my value and my content, because that's what's helped me get to where I am.
Right. Exactly. I feel you there. Oh my God.
It's crazy. It is crazy. Paying an editor makes so much sense. People say worry about losing the voice, but editors are people, they might make it better. Yeah, I think that it's like really comes down to if you can afford it and it's not like you know what I mean? If you can get away with hiring a video editor, I think it's important to do, especially in the hobby space, because I've not really bumped into very many hobbyists that are very good at video editing. There's a couple of them, and they're the best YouTubers right now. You know what I mean? Like they're like the best miniature YouTubers.
Right, they're doing it.
There's a reason for that. There's a bunch of dots. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's interesting. Brush or hire? Yeah, exactly. I know I could do great YouTube videos, but they would work very differently than what I do on Twitch. Exactly. And this is the real crazy thing that I've been thinking about and taking away, because there's been from that crazy fucking Ludwig growing video. Ludwig only streams on Twitch to make YouTube content, basically, was one of his points. Not only, but most of his streaming is designed to eventually be YouTube content.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting thought, right? So it's like, hey, what can I live stream to basically then just extract a chunk of that and just boop, shift that right over to YouTube, which I've been doing in my streams. Like whenever I have a dumb bit or something happens, I just pull it out of my stream and just put that directly on YouTube.
Right.
And it's so interesting to start like really breaking down this, how to use Twitch to grow on YouTube and how to use YouTube to grow on Twitch, because you actually use both at the same time.
Yeah.
Both grows the other. And it's super crazy to try and find that balance.
It's an Ouroboros, man. A fucking snake that eats its own tail, man. And if you aren't fucking feeding the beast, you aren't growing.
Yeah, for real. It's crazy. And like it always makes me, that's like one of my favorite stream moments is when somebody bumps into my stream from YouTube. They're like, hey, what up? Like, I saw your content over. Cool. I just want to come hang out with you on Twitch. I'm like, oh my God, you're like speaking about plums right now. Like I feel that. And like, it's so nice to have people roll in from YouTube, because that's where it's so competitive there. Anybody coming over there is like, whoa, hey, what's up? Welcome to the community. Like, this is where I put my after products, but welcome to the family. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, it's crazy.
That is why Twitch, I wish Twitch could be the winner. I just don't think that Twitch will be. When the streaming war actually happens, I don't think Twitch will win. I think that that is a thing that is not part of their cards. Maybe if they like actually invested in the infrastructure more, but they're just never gonna do it. So it's kind of one of those things that you're just like waiting for them to do the right thing all the time, hoping that they're going to, but who fucking knows?
Yeah. I mean, it, I don't know what's gonna happen with Twitch. Oh, speaking of YouTube live streaming, is it true that you can raid on YouTube and there's emotes on YouTube now? Is that true?
You can
Do you know
raid?
about this?
I did not know that you can raid.
Dude, I heard that there was an update to YouTube Lives where there's emotes and rating. I don't know if it's pending
There's
or if they just
definitely
said that it was
emotes.
coming or if it. I don't. I heard a really brief like that was pretty much all I heard was like, yo, you can rate it and get emotes on YouTube now. And I was like, holy shit, what? And that's all I
There's
know about it.
definitely
I
emotes,
haven't had any time to get to the bottom of that.
but raids
Okay.
I have not seen yet, to be completely honest. Doesn't mean that they're not there.
Honestly, if they turn that on, if that's a thing, that adds so much community.
Yeah,
And that's what
absolutely.
YouTube is missing.
Yeah, that
It's
is
so
going to be
crazy.
the thing. So like once that clicks, you know, and once like things like Streamlabs and Stream Elements focus more on their development for the YouTube side of things,
Yeah.
like watch this whole thing change really quickly.
Yeah, I agree. Have you I still who was saying that? I can't remember what YouTube, but somebody was like Twitch is one bad year away from going away and I was like, "Holy shit."
I definitely have said that multiple times. Like that
Yeah.
they are a couple fuck ups away from going away.
Yeah. Yeah, Zambies and Bolt Brush for Hire uploading VODs to YouTube. I've done the same. I've actually pulled all my VODs off YouTube. I was doing the same. I was doing that and then I was like I think that really absurdly long form content, like a full VOD, weirdly enough, just doesn't work on YouTube. It's nice because it's a permanent hosting. Like
Yeah.
every single one of my Twitch streams I've ever done is recorded and uploaded to YouTube as a hosting site. Thanks, YouTube. But I did that for a while and I pulled it. I made them all private again because I was like, this I feel like it's not benefiting me. And although it's free to give out the content, I just had a weird feeling about it. I was like, I don't feel like this is really doing anything positive for anybody to have a whole VOD on YouTube right now.
So Minigamer
weird.
J
It's
asks, I
super
hear nothing but good things at Twitch and that they'll die soon. What gives? So here's the thing. The mini painting community is amazing on Twitch. The mini painting community is 1/1,000,000th of the overall Twitch health ecosystem, of which the rest of the ecosystem of Tectronic, hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for being here. I'm so glad that Brush sent you. The things that are happening with Twitch outside of our community that are very difficult is the the toxicity of the gamers, the music issues with the DMCA stuff. You know, like basically all the things that we can avoid are getting harder and harder for Twitch, and you know they're basically coming for their dollars. And if I don't know if you guys have really noticed, but every time you do literally anything on Twitch, there's like 700 ads associated with it. Like Twitch it right now is in a really weird spot as a platform. The community on Twitch is the reason to be here, but like we all need to be prepared. If things change, we need to be able to shift, and hence the reason we may be small but we're great. It's that's the way I've always felt about Twitch, and I'm sitting here looking at everything I've done, and I'm so stoked to be a part of it. But also I know that like if Twitch went away, I needed to be ready for YouTube. So I have am multi-streaming. I'm being on both parts of the platform. The nice thing is if you multi-stream, your live videos don't integrate with your regular videos. They sit in a separate spot, so people don't accidentally have to watch a 3-hour long VOD of me. Because nobody fucking wants to accidentally stumble on that. Like if you want to go back and watch it, they're there. And that's why I like doing the multi-stream thing.
Yeah, I've started. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
And like
You're on a great rant.
I did it right. Like I asked to be offboarded so nobody could like give me money on Twitch anymore, to be within terms of service, of which Twitch has ignored. We're 3 months in and they haven't responded. So I'm under the impression that they don't give a fuck what we do, just as long as it makes them money. If we're still making money, they don't give a fuck.
Yep. Well, and I think too, and this is I think really important for content creators on Twitch to know, is the financials of Twitch are not good. Like Twitch is not making money. They're constantly missing their revenue projections. And all you need to know about why that's a problem is that Jeff Bezos owns it. And Jeff Bezos, if you don't know, is all about efficiency. And if he owns something that's not making him money, he will cut it off.
Yeah.
And if he cuts off Twitch, who fucking knows what's going to happen? So as a content creator, I think that we should be very positive and think really good things and try and attract positivity to the long term of Twitch here. But I think that we just need to be very, very honestly transparent about what could possibly happen with Twitch in the future, because they just flat out are missing their revenue for multiple years in a row. They keep coming up short with how much money that they're trying to make, and they're not doing anything to change it. And you can't come up that short that many times in a row when you're owned by Jeff Bezos, who will literally cut you out. He'll just be done with you. And who knows who would pick up Twitch after that?
Do you remember the Groupon thing that they had?
No.
Yeah. You know why? Because it didn't make them money, and it fucking disappeared. You know, like they're like, oh, we're going to go against Groupon. And the only reason I really remember this is because the biggest enemy in the picture frame world is a company called FrameBridge, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have used or have heard of. If you listen to podcasts, you've heard of fucking FrameBridge, and it's cheap framing that is technically a fast turnaround time. She did the Amazon. I can't even remember what it's called now. That's how long ago it was. And, when she got bought out of it, that she was like, that's it. I need to take this money and do something else because and I can't be owned by fucking Amazon, because Amazon, if you're not making the money, it doesn't matter if you're bringing a value, the money has to come eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. Brush Twitch needs to make more of a push for the art community to grow. Well, Twitch needs to do two things, like immediately.
Beholder. See you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. There's people saying they got to take off, and so I always like saying goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Twitch needs to make targeted ads. They make no money on ads, and YouTube makes billions and billions, like tens of billions of dollars on just having targeted ads, because targeted ads are more effective.
Yeah.
You charge more.
Yeah.
Why does Twitch not have targeted ads? Exactly to Brush's point, Twitch needs to make more of a push for the art community to grow. Twitch needs to make a push to advertise a correct products to the people streaming in the right category, right? If you're streaming Warhammer, you should be getting ads that have even anything to do with the miniature painting community. Anything. You should be getting ads for Squarespace. You should be getting ads for anything that has to do with content creation. And you don't. You get, like, I got a Burger King ad. I have celiacs. I can't eat a cheeseburger.
I can't eat a fucking cheeseburger.
Like, there's no. So it's insane. It is insane. Yeah. Like, but also to that same point, the Twitch should push more. That is not just about gaming. Like, here's the reality: is they won't.
Yeah.
And it sucks. They just won't, because that's not where they make their money. Like, they don't do that. They won't. I can't imagine Twitch ever pushing anything that's not gaming. And they won't push any content creators that aren't making them their most money, because think about who it's owned by. Like, it just keeps coming back to the Amazon model. If it doesn't make money, don't do it.
Yeah.
And
Google is business daddy.
It's crazy.
You're correct. That's the thing. Google's business daddy. They will figure out a way to make it.
It would obviously be super awesome, right, if Twitch helped us grow and helped push the art community and did some ads about it, but that's not where their money comes from. You know what I mean? And so, like, yeah, it'd be fucking great, but I really don't think that they'll do that. I really don't see it happening. And that's where, as content creators, that's honestly, this is also a fucked up, brutal truth. That's our job to grow the art space on Twitch, to be honest. That's not Twitch's job to grow the art space. It's our job to grow the art space.
Right. Yeah.
It's their job to host it. They don't care. They just give us a platform. However much we bring in.
What are you, some sort of Republican? Do you not want us to have fucking power in Texas? It's our responsibility to grow this.
But I think that, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I would love to see more attention on the Twitch content space and art space here, but we can all do that. We can all grow on other platforms and bring people here. Like, we could do this. Like, we can make this a better place for artists, but we have to work our asses off, straight up. Like, we have to grow on different platforms. We have to convince people that Twitch is where community exists, not everywhere else. Every other platform is for housing content. Twitch is for making content.
Right.
Like, this is a weird thought that I've been getting more into. And, like, at the end of the day, the success of our community rides on the creators as much as it rides on the community. And I think that our community keeps showing up and telling us how amazing they are. Like the Warhammer, the mini painting community, the whatever art space communities that exist on Twitch are so amazing. And we have to keep elevating that community as much as they elevate us to really grow this the right way.
Straight up.
But like, yeah, I think that Twitch is a great place to be. I love Twitch. I just am very, very, very transparent with myself about what Twitch really is.
Man, I can't figure out.
They need to advertise.
I can't figure out if like we can raid. I was just looking over on YouTube, like seeing if there's a thing where you can go to raid, and I don't see it. You know, just kind of looking at this stuff because, like, yeah, I really want YouTube to have these things too. Like, you know, we can complain all we want about you know, Twitch not doing the things that it is, but truth be told, that everybody's got their fucking blind spots right now, and it's the one place that gets it all, the fucking one ring to rule them all. It's like crazy, dude. Signarly, I'll message you later, and we'll make it go.
My buddy Tip in chat, the idiot he's like, quit playing with the mouse. I can't stop following it. It's not my mouse. I'm not doing it. I'm not behind this fuckery.
Is that me? Oh my god, it's me.
Yeah, there was a mouse floating around. He's just guilty.
The funny thing is,
it wasn't me.
The mouse is being caught, but you are still coming from a different window, so I don't fucking understand.
Dude, science. Who even knows?
I can raid Shadow Legends. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I got hit up by Stream Elements. They were like, hey, Raid Shadow Legends wants to do an advertising campaign with you. I'm like, yeah, I bet they want to do it with everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Heath
was picking my nose. Well, I would let Heath, if you ever wanted to pick my nose, I would let you.
You can't pick you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Yeah, here's the weird thing. I can't pick my own nose. It stops there. It stops mid-screen for some reason. That's insane.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
We don't understand the software we use, by the way.
Let's see here. All right. So you know, you and me, we could fucking talk this over and over and over again. And and while I would love to beat that dead horse into the ground more, I also want to like circle back around to the positive aspects of giving yourself yes, but free the nipple. Zambies is right. Yep. Correct.
Let them out.
Before we raid into the next person, I'd love to leave everybody on a really high positive note. I want us all to fucking feel really good about the mental health struggles that come along with doing something like a month-long challenge, doing anything that takes you way out of your comfort zone, like leaves you in a zone of having to learn, you know, like time management and expectations being tempered. And I would love to take the things that we've learned, even though like technically both of our projects this month ended up in abject failure. None of us finished them. Yeah. What did you learn from yours, man? What was your takeaway from studying Ink 28? What was the gift it gave you?
So a couple things. I mean, I think for me, theming a whole month around learning a style, streaming it exclusively, like the entire learning process, beginning to end. Like my very first stream was a just chatting stream. I had literally just a chat, just watching me just look at reference pictures on Pinterest and reading articles, reading 28 Mag. I had people just supporting me do a literal just chatting stream. So that was wild. I was like, yo, we're straight up just you guys are just gonna watch me read for 2 hours. Everybody's like, okay, cool. So I learned that my chat will follow me into some weird fucking rabbit holes, which is really cool to have that kind of backing.
Sure.
And then I also learned that it's okay to make huge mistakes along the way, which I did. Like it definitely did not go to plan the whole project.
Yeah.
It just was I learned a lot, but I think for me, overall, like, did I hit my goal? No. Like, I've got my models done. They're ready for the table. I think they came out pretty good, but like, I know how critical I am of myself. And I'm like, did I really win this challenge? No. But then I'm like thinking more about it. I'm like, well, I did, because first of all, I did it, right? I think doing the challenge is winning it. Just being like transparent enough to just walk in and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna show you guys how I try to learn something, and if I fuck it up, you're still gonna watch it." And
Right.
being that transparent and accepting the failures along the way has taught me, retaught me the continued importance of being transparent and accepting that I am learning. We're all learning. There's so few actual masters in our space, and there's so many learners still that it's really great to be able to approach a project, have support from my community, no matter how good or bad it goes. They're still there in the streams all the time, and I think that that was super awesome. And then the other thing I learned is, be realistic about my timelines and stuff. Like I got really close on my timelines, really close, but not quite. And so I think that it's just, being more transparent that, the first time that I build or paint something is going to take me longer than I'm used to on conversions.
Yeah.
So overall, I would say I didn't hit the finish line that I wanted, but I learned so much along the way that
And
it's
you
hard
kept
for me to walk away from it bad.
Dude, and you kept on using fucking green stuff when like everybody knows it's all about milliput. Like and milliput and epoxy sculpt. Like it's something
Yeah.
that you can sand afterwards and actually like change what it is once you're done with it. Like
Yeah.
man, the biggest problem with like working with green stuff is it's so unforgiving if you don't get it right the first time, because
Yeah.
sculpting it afterwards is not as easy as it should be.
Right. Yep. But
Yeah.
it was a big learn. And like I think I just learned like that it's okay to not finish. Like to just giving it a shot and learning along the way is almost as good as having a perfect ending. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's so it's like the process. Process is what I kept coming back to. And like having my community back me the whole time was just amazing. So it was
Dude,
awesome month of
having
content.
friends to go with you into the depths of hell is like one of the best fucking feelings. And like, not to be
Yeah.
dramatic about it, but like it really, I don't, audience, I don't think you guys understand what it means to people like us, especially I mean, all of us extroverts need community, but
Yeah.
like when you are wanting to give something back and to have people ride or die along for the ride, it's unbelievable feeling, man.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
so like big props to everybody who checks in with the videos, who sends me fucking PMs being like, how you doing today, like checking checking in on our mental health along the way is fucking huge. So thank you
Yeah.
guys so much for being here and being part of this.
Yep.
um,
What about you? Tell me about your month. What'd you take away?
I took away the fact that it's really being able to airbrush a lot and feel comfortable airbrushing, and is something that if you want to output a lot of models, it's like key. And I think that
Mhm.
it's something that a lot of people kind of reject the idea of using a new tool to get you there. But in the same way that streaking grime is fucking cheat code, it's the fucking Konami code of miniature painting. Oil
It
wash,
is.
where it's 30 lives and fucking Contra. Like you have to learn the tools. You have to understand that the efforts that you put into it will pay off in the end. And so that's something that leaning into your tools, leaning into your process, it's really good. And nobody's going to look at what I did paint here and say that it's the best paint jobs I've ever did, but they're going to look at it and be like, this is one of the coolest fucking armies I've ever seen. By the time
Yeah.
it's done, which right now it's over half done, I feel really big about that. I feel like like I said, another 20 hours and I'm done, and I'm like rolling in it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I think that's a big and good point too, is like sometimes the final picture, not quite literally a picture, but like sometimes the final picture of a product is in like your headspace of like, hey, what does this product look like in my head when it's done?
Yeah.
Is much bigger than an individual piece. That's an interesting point that you made, that it's like, this one model might have problems, but the army as a whole looks great. And that's so important for like army work, is like, hey, there's a little issue here. Okay, how does the rest of the army look? You know what I mean? Like, and that's something chat bumped into me doing that live on stream. They're like, "Hey, that conversion's like fucked up. Like, what are you doing with that arm?" And I'm like, "Well, I made a mistake. So I'm accepting it. I'm moving forward.
Moving forward.
It's a unit. Yeah, I'm making a unit, not one model. So like, yeah, I think that this one part's like could be better, but I'm not gonna undo my work or go back and do all this other stuff to fix a small error, in my opinion, that
Yeah.
more importantly, I've just learned from, right? Like if you're making, some good headway with your mistakes along the way and you're learning from them, so important.
If
So
you're
important.
if you're using the super thin super glue thinking that you're going to stick anything to it and it gets all over your model, you instantly have to then like write off any actual like good finished model. Like, nope, this one is going to be covered in fucking garbage. It's going to
Mhm.
have texture, it's not going to be great. And you just have to
Yep.
roll in it, and you can't take it personally, you can't get mad at it. Can't throw it in the fucking super simple green to strip. You got to move on. That's the
Yep.
thing that every time I see somebody strip something, I'm like, unless if you really fucked it up, like why are you stripping it? Like move
Mhm.
on. Like learn
Mhm.
on your next model, learn on the next thing. And because I hate seeing people being stuck in a loop. And
Yep.
like we've said it before. Box art is a fucking trap.
Yeah.
Box art's a trap. Nobody gives a shit but you on it. So like, be nicer to yourself. Enjoy the time.
100%.
Enjoy the process. Enjoy learning. Enjoy fucking up. It's so much fun to fuck up and learn from your mistakes in miniature painting.
Huge.
I say that all the time. Learn from your mistakes. Embrace the growth that you get. But every time that you get rid of your growth,
Yeah.
Zambi's being the mature woman in the room here.
Yeah. Fuck, it's Zambies. Classic.
I love it. I love it. And I love you guys. Thank you everybody so much for hanging out. I'm glad that you and I have managed to, become friends and talk and push each other, because I know that as long as I have people like you around, I'll never find myself being without wanting inspiration. So thank you for being my inspiration and my muse there, Mr. The Sauce.
Dude, likewise. We just talked about it earlier, but I love having same brain friends and people in this hobby that we can connect with and collaborate with and make really, really good collaborative content together, and growing together, working together is so important. So, likewise, man, I learn so much and get so much inspiration from you every day, and what you work on. And it's been super fun. I love collabing with you and doing shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, thanks for streaming and being up all day. It's crazy. Um can you post a link to this gentleman's Twitch? Somebody give a shout out, because I don't know if I can do that right
That's
now.
me.
Hold on, maybe. Aw, I think Zambies love your face too. Let's see here. See if I can do this. SO The Sauce
That me.
painting. Bam, son. Bam, son. There it
Boom.
is. All right. All right. We are going to raid into Orky, because we got to figure out what she's doing with this airbrush. It's either going to be devastating or the best thing we've ever seen. Either way, it is a good time. She's really fun to watch. Thank you all for joining us for the Inquisition 28 challenge in the month. It has been quite an experience. So thank you all.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Sauce, thank you so much, buddy, for joining me.
Bro,
let me get this raid
you.
going here.
Always a pleasure to spend time with you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Here's my little quick spiel before we hit the road. You can support the channel with subs here. You can support the channel on YouTube. Patreon's the best place. If you support us there, it's fantastic. We really appreciate it. It helps us grow, keeps us in the hobby. Make sure that you guys are all being good to each other, checking up on all your friends. We're still in the thick of Christmas and the winter season, so make sure you're checking on everybody. We're gonna head on over to Orky. It's gonna be a good time. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I really appreciate it.